What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey 6M2 coming to you guys with a video right now. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. I'm trying to find a day where I could actually stream. I might do a poll tomorrow because I really don't know, since I'm doing a stream on Saturday now with the new podcast with Philly 500. If you haven't checked out the link for that down below for the we're looking for a new podcast name, and we're going to announce the winner probably by the end of next week. Not this Saturday coming up, but the Saturday after that, guys. So just look out for that whenever you guys get a chance. The link for that video, comment the new name of the podcast that you would want, and we pick out a winner at the end of next week, next Saturday. Not this Saturday coming up, just letting you guys know about that. So the Eagles need to figure out a formula for this draft, guys, because at the end of the day, we pray that Howie makes these picks, but at the end of the day, they need to figure out in-house, in that front office, that this is going to work out, okay? They need to figure out that they have to figure out a formula to draft players. We can't be grinding our teeth every single year and to be so nervous before a draft, which is normal, but at the same time, it just gets to the point where you can't really think like that every year. If they draft at least 3 players every year that could start on the football field, it would be really nice. But obviously, what Howie Roseman has done the past few years, for a while, hasn't really done much. So hopefully, with the 12th overall pick, I think they're going to be very aggressive in this draft. I think good things are going to happen. I think having 11 picks in this draft is really going to help a lot, like a whole lot entirely. So I'm very excited about it. Very excited about what we're going to be doing, and it's only a couple weeks away, guys. This draft is coming real fast. So do appreciate everybody coming in today. We got Cassius Saldana. What's going on, man? Formerly known as JoJo MC. Rishi Lair, what's going on? Rock the Artist, what's going on? Always test the Eagles will move down again and draft a pass rusher. How mad will we be? Pretty mad. King Rolex, what's going on, man? Matt Weeks, what's going on, bro? Kane Cash, who you think will have the breakout season next year? I'm looking for Miles Sanders as my number 1 guy having that breakout year next year. I think it's time he gets his breakout year behind this offensive line. I think he would have last year. So Ernesto Chavez Aguilar says 12th pick, wide receiver, and the rest are defense. I don't mind that at all. Eagles of Land, what's up? Late night with Shakes. What's going on, man? NFC's beast. Let's see, ankles, knees, core, shoulders, elbows, and concussions. Big Play Slay, what's going on? Reaper Town, what's going on? JJ, what's going on, bro? Same old. Ernesto, what's going on, man? Yo, Dablitz 12, what's going on, bro? We're just chilling. Shane Rolls, what's going on, man? Just chilling, dude. Same old, same old. You know what I mean? Why is my nose so itchy? Let's see here. If we know, Addy B, what's going on, bro? Jamal Marshall, what's going on, man? So, Tyler V said, let's get Horn, trade back up for Jock. We could find a wide receiver in the later rounds. I wouldn't mind getting a linebacker at 12. I really don't. I wouldn't even mind getting Jock. You get Jock on this team, you build around him instantly. I think that's where it gets really exciting. It really does. Really does. Do like that a lot. Got Taylor Walker Devin says you can't count that 4th loss for Hurts. He didn't finish the game. Got to see him as a 1-2, which isn't much better. What we would have won the last game. Look, at the end of the day, guys, I just want Jalen Hurts to start this year and just have an evaluation period of Jalen Hurts this year, 2021. That's all I really care about for this year, okay? Because if he gets benched or if he doesn't start this year, I'm going to be thinking. I think all of us are going to be thinking back. And we're pretty much going to say, I don't want to have these what ifs about Jalen Hurts. What if he started this whole year? What if he played in 2021? Would our team look better? I want, regardless of what Deshaun Watson rumors and everything like that is happening right now, I want this team to be ready to go by the first game. And I don't care who's on the field, but our quarterback should be Jalen Hurts this year to give that evaluation. And that's what makes sense to me, at least. So that's where it's going. T. Agnew, what's going on? Monica Lane, what's going on? Says Horn. Definitely. Josh says Eagles drafting a QB. If that happens, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Eagles Slayer says Jock would become the leader of our core instantly. Oh, 100%. 100%. Addy B said, would you consider trading back to the back receivers in the first and second round, Smith, then Marshall? I think that will solidify our offense. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to double dip at wide receiver. Number 2, they already drafted a receiver in the first round last year in Jalen Reagor, and I have a lot of promise for Jalen Reagor. A lot of fans don't, but I really am excited about Jalen Reagor. I am. Definitely. I think he's definitely going to contribute. You draft a Terrace Marshall, you draft somebody else on this team, you're going to have it's going to make a lot of good things for it's going to open up a lot for our whole offense when you draft that number 1 guy. TX said, most likely we want corner, but I wouldn't be mad if we got like Devontae or Waddle. I think if Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle are on the board, I think you're taking one of those guys. I think if they're on the board, if J.C. Horn is on the board at the same time with Waddle and Devontae Smith there, I think you're taking one of those receivers regardless. I think that's where it goes right there. Rishi Lara said, did you see Jalen Hurts GQ interview? Man, so humble. Yeah, I watched. So it pretty much, if you haven't seen it on YouTube, go to YouTube, type in Jalen Hurts GQ. GQ is pretty much something, it's a channel to where it focuses on players and their rookie contracts and how they spent like their first $1 million in their rookie year. So do check that out. It's actually pretty cool. And he was, it was nice to see him talk a little bit and kind of go through what he was spending his money on. And very humble guy, like you said, Rishi. Very humble guy. Karen Spriggs says Eagles need secondary. I think they have to get their opposite of Darius Slay, obviously, this year. Look, if they go cornerback, guys, if they go J.C. Horn, even if you had Waddle, just say Devontae Smith's off the board, you had Waddle. If they picked J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain, I really wouldn't have a problem with it. There's a lot of people that think Patrick Surtain is a lot better than J.C. Horn. I think Horn has a really big ceiling in the league. I just think he could really cover those twitchy, fast receivers downfield because of his size and what he could do with it. I do like that. If you can find a corner that has really good size and long arms, big hands, and that can get their hands on the football, you're going to have a good corner. So that's what I'm hoping for. Diablo says, who are your top 3 players, Waddle, Horn, or Surtain? Look, I think at this point I have Waddle, I have Horn, and I have Surtain. Those three guys are fantastic, okay? And I think the Cowboys are definitely going to draft a corner. That there's no question about that for this draft. So I honestly think it's going to happen. Tara Sub going to the Phillies game on Sunday. Can't wait. I'm glad you could go to a Phillies game. I'm excited. I hope I can get to, I really hope I can get to an Eagles game this year. Usually I'm there open. Usually I go to about 5 games a year. And try to go to a few of them if I can, depending on how they open it up and what's going on. JJ says things in the New Orleans game was very impressive for Hurts. I think the highs of that game outweighed the lows of any the next 3 games. I like his potential. I actually liked. Look, I understand we played the Saints, but I actually liked the Cardinals game a little bit better because he passed a little bit more. He was more of a pocket presence in that game. I think in that Saints game, he just used his legs. He didn't really throw the ball too much in that game. I wanted to see more throwing from him, and I think we saw a good. I think Hurts played good. I thought Hurts played okay in that Cardinals game. I just think that the rest of the team really didn't do him any favors. So a lot to really take on there. Let me move up here. Vincent Diaz, I think Hurts will do good. People will see, mark my words. I'm telling you, I really hope he does. Kai Greenzo, yo, Joey, love the content. What do you think of Jalen Asante and Jabril as our first 3 picks? If they can get Jabril with the 3rd round pick, and I think they could get him in the 3rd round, I think that would be really cool. I mean, if they go wide receiver corner or corner receiver, and they want to go get Jabril Cox, I'm fine with that. I really am fine with that. I think they need to go get a linebacker, add a body to the linebacker position this year. You got Eric Wilson in the building now, so there's a lot of good things you could take out of it. I think he's good against the run. I think he's great in coverage. I think he's a versatile player, and he's physical, and the guy can blitz really well, and he's very strong. So Eric Wilson is definitely going to be probably the best linebacker we have. Now, understandably, I want to see what Davion Taylor and I want to see what Sean Bradley and the rest of these guys could do because, honestly, they didn't really get a chance last year. Okay, none of these guys. TJ Edwards has been a flash in the pan the past couple years. I think there's guys out there. Alex Singleton was that gem that we found. He was that gem, and I was really happy to say that, very happy with just his tackling. I don't think he's a good coverage linebacker, or maybe I think we just have to wait and see and look at training camp. I think Jonathan Gannon is going to find out and put some of these linebackers in coverage in 2021 and see which guys could actually do that. So, Tyler Etzel, Eagles are going cornerback, wide receiver, or tight end. I don't think tight end is going to be there. I think cornerback, wide receiver, and you could probably say linebacker, or you could probably say safety as well. You never know at this point. I mean, it's really up to Kevon Wallace at safety this year. I think you have, Kevon Wallace. Rodney McLeod is still dealing with an injury, so he probably won't be back either quarter of the season in or half the season. So that probably makes a lot of sense as well. We got a super chat from Philly Swag 24. Thank you so much, my guy. Much appreciated. He says, Joey, we can't get Sewell or Slater. We need skill position players or a corner at 12 of Parsons as an exception. Definitely. I mean, look, I'm not like, against getting an offensive lineman. Like if they even try to get an offensive lineman, and they were there at 12, or they moved back to get a lineman, say Sewell just came to us and we drafted him, I really can't be mad at it. But would I be like, I really wanted somebody else? Definitely. But you get Sewell, a guy that's only given up, like one sack in 2 years of his college days. So very good players. But I think if they get a linebacker, like if they end up getting a Parsons, or I'd be very shocked if they get a linebacker with that 12th pick. I mean, that's definite. So I think that's a good question, Philly Swag. Good question, bro. Let me find out where I am right now before I lose my spot, because this is what happens. Hold on. EDP. I saw EDP's name for some reason. Michael Fox, what's going on, bro? Michael Fox is 2 weeks, baby. So yeah, 2 weeks. We're gonna be waiting on these podcast names. Can't wait to do the draft right before I can't wait to do this podcast before the draft too. It should be fire as well. Jamius Humphrey says, yes, sir, finally got time to watch. What's good, Joey? FC's beast of Darisaw Rousseau or Pay a little. Which would you rather? I don't know. If I were to go after somebody, it would probably be Kwity Paye would probably be the guy, the defensive end from Michigan. But I'm not looking for a defensive end in this draft unless it's later. If Kwity Paye moves down the board and they want to draft him, and he doesn't get drafted within the first round, and they can get him on day 2, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Derek Barnett's making $10 million. You have Brandon Graham that's playing pretty good. Josh Sweat is probably the better player than Derek Barnett right now. He's been getting better every single year. So there's really a lot to take from it, and I think that would be where we would go. If Kwity Paye drops, I would definitely grab him. That's definite. Ernesto says, thanks for the confirmation. Jay says, I feel like trade will happen the first some way, whether it's trade up, trade back, or trade back into the back end of the first. I think they could, if they really wanted to, I think they could move up from 12 to get their guy. I think they have the resources. If it was to get, look, guys, if we move up, if there's a way, I think if we move up from 12 to like 8 or 9 and you want to go get somebody, if you see Kyle Pitts moving up that board, you see something like that, I think you have a good chance that you don't have to give up that second round pick, but it might cost you that 37th overall pick, so you never know at that point. But at the same time, very exciting to see that, you could just draft at 12, move back into the first round with the rest of the picks that you do have. And, depending if they get corner or wide receiver, there's plenty of different options they could take. So you just have to look out for that. What's going on, Ryan Rowe? Country boy, what's going on, bro? Happy, what's going on, man? Appreciate everybody being here. Everyone drop a like. As Happy says, everyone drop that like. If you guys have not, if you guys are new, haven't subscribed to the channel either, please subscribe. The links are down below, obviously, for the other links. And obviously, to get the podcast name for me and Philly 500 by next Saturday, we're going to pick a winner. So go to that video and comment on that video of podcast names if you guys have not. iShot 101, what's going on, man? Let's see here. I gotta go back. I gotta go back down a little bit. Let's get Nautica 5 says, "What's up, brother? How you doing, bro?" Dread Trash says, "I'm really hoping for Devontae." Look, man, if they end up getting Devontae, I'm telling you, it's going to be a really good signing because the way he can pinpoint the ball, he can stretch out defenses. It's going to open a lot for this offense with Jalen Reagor, with Dallas Goedert. It's going to open up a lot for this offense. I think, obviously, a lot of people think Devontae Smith is the better receiver than Waddle. Waddle has that explosiveness as well. But I think with Devontae Smith, he's better pinpointing the ball, catching in traffic. He just got more better concentration when it comes to those really acrobatic catches and can do a lot more for us. So I think it does make sense. NFC speaks. Reagor was figuring out at the end of the season, just no one to get him the ball. And I think that's the reason too, guys. Like when I hear that Jalen Reagor is trash, like I can't stand when people say that because this whole offense was trash. This whole offense was a total mess. Not only your quarterback couldn't even throw the ball or even have any mechanics last year. I mean, Doug had a play calling sheet that was not even a page long, and on top of everything else, nobody had a chance because of this veteran favoritism last year, 2020. And Reagor got hurt a few times. He showed some good things. He showed some really good things. And I've seen some flashes of Reagor in open space, and he could run for a while. He could get past an entire defense if he really wants to. But I just don't think the chances were there with a lot of these wide receivers. Travis Fulgham, after week 4 of the season, was on the way to almost 1,000 yards if he kept playing, but you take him out because you had DeSean Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey coming back. And on top of everything else, this is what happens. This is how your team will struggle. Your team will struggle. And it's ridiculous. Can't do it. Can't do it. We got Philly Fresh with the super chat. Thanks, Macy. What did I say? 500 Shakes podcast. Well, dude, go to that video, click on that link, and put the name in the comment section so you could win. Everyone has a chance to win. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Philly Fresh, go to his channel, hit the subscribe button. He puts out a lot of Eagles content. If you want something straight to the point, non-sugarcoating, you go to Philly Fresh's channel. So make sure you head over there and hit that subscribe button. Much love to him. Hopefully to get together with him really soon. Really soon. Great content creator. Absolutely amazing. I hate trying to go up. Guys, give me a second when I try to go up and try to get this. Alex says, if Jalen goes crazy this year, what would Eagles plan for the 3 first rounds next year? I don't think you're using 3 first round picks next year if we have those 3 first rounders. I don't think that's even happening at all. I think what's going to happen is they will trade for a really good player. And this all really matters if Jalen Hurts plays well. If Jalen Hurts plays well, then you won't have to use one of those first rounders on a quarterback. That's where it's really going to make a difference at the end of the day. I think you trade for a very good player off another team. I think you just use those 2 first-round picks to your advantage the rest of the way. So I think one of those will be traded away for something, maybe a young, decent player down the road. You never know at this point, but we'll see what happens. Jamal Bailey says he did really show out in the Cardinals game. I thought he did too. Jalen Hurts did a good job. I don't think the team around him played well that night. I don't think they did. I don't know if it was a middle afternoon game, whatever it was. I thought he showed some poise. I mean, even scrambling up the middle and then kind of like his leg was getting attacked and he just jumped into the end zone. I loved it from Jalen Hurts. I really did. The rest of the team just didn't play well. Defense was giving up a lot of yards. And unfortunately, our offense with Jalen Hurts was most likely getting figured out as the weeks were going on. So it's been kind of crazy. You know what I mean? We have a super chat from Ernesto Chavez Aguilar. He says, Reagor going to have a breakout season, young and fast as hell. This is his year. And I think it is, guys. Like, I have it. And that's great, Ernesto, for mentioning that. At least somebody agrees with me that they're not giving up on Jalen Reagor the way he was used last year. And not to mention this offseason we had last year, which I'm not really putting it as a huge excuse, but obviously there was no chemistry. The guys like practiced for a couple weeks and pretty much had a first game, guys. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what happened. But I think Rager has explosiveness. I think Rager could be used in this offense, like the Colts have used their wide receivers. They have those little short, speedy receivers on these quick screens, on some other stuff. So, I think Sirianni will do a really good job with Rager because I don't think Rager's a bust. I'm not going down. I'm not going down to put Jalen Rager off, on the bench and say he's horrible. I don't get what these Eagle fans do. I really don't get some of these guys that say, you're talking about one guy that stinks last year. How about you talk about the whole offense? The whole offense was horrible. The whole offense was absolutely horrible last year. I mean, you're picking these players that you have to put blame on the whole offense. You got to put blame on the quarterback. You got to put blame on Doug Peterson at the end of the day. Okay, so you can't just put blame on one person. It's unfair. Rock the Artist, what's going on? He says, "Get your cigars and drinks. We're partying this draft." I know. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this draft. I'm really humbled to say, you know what? I think this draft is. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I have to be excited. It's just like, there is a huge chance that this draft could be a huge success. They draft the right guys. At least they draft the 2 first players that can at least start the first day of the season. Your future picks are looking good. Your 3 first rounders potentially for 2022, guys. I mean, it looks really good right now. And you could contend, like if you do a good draft, you can actually contend by 2022 after that draft. You could do some really good things. All I want to see in 2021 are those building blocks the Eagles need to find. They get rid of some more players next year. And then kind of just find the rhythm of what they want to do with these picks and what we need. We need to see some of these young guys step up, obviously, and that's Nick Sirianni's job. I'm not talking about the players that get drafted here this year, but I'm talking about some of the guys that are on here. Travis Fulgham, Quez Watkins. I mean, you brought Jordan Howard back, which he'll definitely be used. You could extend him. Eric Wilson on defense. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could do, guys. Like Dallas Goedert, his contract is almost up too, guys. So that's another decision the Eagles are going to have to make. Dallas Goedert's got to have a good season in 2021. I'm going to actually have a video on that because his contract's almost up as well. And these young guys have got to do some things as well. So it's on Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni's got to get this going with this offense. Okay. That Blitz 12 says, is there a player you could think of the Eagles would consider trading up ahead of the Cowboys? I'd say probably to pick 8 or 9. I'd say by like at least the Denver Broncos pick at 9, I think is more realistic, where they could probably steal somebody if they want to jump in front of the Giants and the Cowboys at 10 and 11. I think they really have to jump in front of them. I don't see why not, because, guys, at the end of the day, Howie Roseman cannot sit there and say to himself, and those after the draft press conferences, he can't sit there and pretty much tell us, oh, he had no leverage, he had no draft picks. He's so excited he has 11 draft picks. Number 2, you haven't traded Zach Ertz yet. Waiting on that. You could trade him by draft night. You could trade back to the first round if there's a team that needs a tight end. There's already been a speculated trade with the Bills and the Eagles. The Eagles trading Zach Ertz and their second-round pick for the Bills' 30th pick in the first round. I think is a very fair deal. I think it's a very fantastic deal that you could do some really good things with. So I'm looking for a trade like that. Like, do I think Zach Ertz is going to get traded on draft night? Probably not, but I'm kind of hoping he does. So we get our $4 million in cap savings and kind of just get rid of him. But at the same time, probably won't happen. You'll probably just wait for post-June. The Eagles kind of promised us that he wasn't going to get released. Like they were going to get something for him. But I think the longer they hold on to him, the worse it's going to get, because then teams aren't really going to give up. I think they want like a 3rd, 4th round pick for him, but I don't even think that's going to happen, guys, at this point. So it's kind of crazy. D. says, who are you taking, Waddle or Horn? I'm taking. Oh God, I'm taking a receiver. If I have to say, I'm taking a receiver, because I think corners go really deep. You got to get one of these track star receivers, and not only for his speed, guys. So that's why people jump on me and say, "Oh, it's because of his speed." I'm like, that's part of it, but it's not, because I think definitely the Eagles have looked at more tape with Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and Jalen Waddle in college and doing some really cool things. So really you have to look at it that way and say, well, do you get more value at 12 that you can get a guy that could start right now for your offense? I think we need that number one, that guy that's going to get some attention on the field. I think you get that in Waddle. I think you get that with Smith as well. So if you have Horn on the board while Waddle's still there, I think you're still taking that receiver. The Eagles need to look at their draft board. I don't want them to go a few guys down off their draft board, pretty much say, hey, I'm not picking the guy that the position of need. I'm not looking at position of need. I'm looking at best player available at 12 or if we move up. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm hoping for. So, I don't know. It's allergies or something today because it's been raining. It's been weird today. So, we got a super chat from Hyper. Thanks very much for the super chat, man. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. I think I have one more. We have Nathan Rizzo. What's going on, man? One of the loyalists to the channel, Nathan Rizzo. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Waddle or Horn at 12 if they drop or trade up for them, and then Terrace Marshall Jr., our best cornerback, depending on what they do at 12. I think you can go either or. I think you can go get receiver or corner and kind of vice versa in the second round. I don't think it matters at this point. I think you'll do pretty well. I think you'll do really well. I think honestly, I'd be surprised if this wasn't the case unless they're really going to take a chance on Jock or get a Micah Parsons, but I highly doubt it. If I was to say it's going to be receiver, corner, receiver, and then figure out what you need down the road. So, there's really a lot you could do here. There is 131 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate you being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, I cover Eagles news all year. Okay, if you guys have not, please hit the like button as well. It really does help support the channel a lot. And if you guys haven't checked the links to support me more, check the description below. And if you guys haven't, click the link for the video. Me and Philly 500 are doing a podcast every week. We started last week on my channel last Saturday. So every Saturday at 9 o'clock, we're going to be switching channels back and forth. And we need a podcast name. So go to that link down below, click on that YouTube video, and comment podcast names. We're going to read over all of them, and then once we figure out the winner, the winner will be announced, and we will finally have a name for the podcast. So should be a lot of fun. See, Michael Fox said, Quipe is a player we need 100%. Defensive end is weak. Graham getting old. Barnett playing like a third rounder, and Sweat is decent. I think Sweat and Graham, obviously Graham is coming on the downfall, the down of his, I'm not saying down of his career, but he's coming, he's productive, but, I think he's got to help the defensive tackles out. If you're leaving one-on-ones with Graham, I think it's automatic. And I understand people were complaining that Graham disappeared I think he could have had double-digit sacks this year. He kind of didn't have anything going on the last 6 games of the season. He didn't really do much the last 6 games of the season. But I think overall had a pretty productive year. And why is Derek Barnett making $10 million? At this point, I have no idea. I have no idea why Derek Barnett's making that much at this point. I really don't. Why didn't they extend Barnett? At least extend him so you lower that cap number every single year, but you didn't even do that. You know what I mean? So it really just questions me what they're doing, with this, with some of these guys. I mean, Lane Johnson didn't even get extended. Lane Johnson didn't even get restructured. I mean, there's some things that I kind of question why they didn't do it. I understand if they don't have to restructure everybody, that's fine. I'd rather them not do that. But Derek Barnett sitting at $10 million, and you have Zach Ertz making 12. I'd rather have Zach Ertz on this team in 2021 with a $12 million cap hit than Derek Barnett making $10 million this year. Okay, I think all of you could probably agree with that. We'd rather have Zach Ertz here with a $12 million cap hit than Derek Barnett making $10 million. $10 million for what? For what? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It kind of confuses me. I got to do a double take. I gotta look back real quick because I don't even know what I'm reading half the time. Tordville, Greg Ward only averages 8 yards a catch. That is lower average than slow plotting tight ends. I think Greg Ward has been a very reliable receiver for Jalen Hurts. I think they have a good chemistry. He's caught a lot of catches. He caught a lot of catches from Jalen Hurts this year. Okay, and one of the only guys that really hasn't been benched because, not a lot of these other guys could play inside besides, Rager could definitely play inside, but they used him on motion and third down receiving and all that stuff because Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey came back. So there was a lot of different things going on there. But I think Greg Ward is great. I don't think he's I don't think he's fast, but he gets separation. He's really good at the top of his route. Okay, and he likes to get it. He definitely gets open. So I think one of his favorite targets. I was really glad to bring Greg Ward back to a minimum veteran deal. Obviously, signing those tenders really did help. Jay said Rager was actually pretty good considering the circumstances. I mean, he played 10 games, 30 catches, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's bad for 10 games. Playing with a bad QB situation. I'm telling you, Jalen Rager has so much more to give. So much more to give. And if you draft another receiver this year, you're going to open up this offense even more. You got to get that dog. You have to get that star. And look, Rager can still become that star. And that's why everyone laughs at me and says he can't. But I don't get how you could single out Jalen Rager and that whole offense last year than some of these other guys. Okay, JJ Arthega, Umbrella Whiteside's a second-round pick, and he was on practice squad most of the week. Okay, so there's a lot of different things you really take from it. But I have to say, Jalen Rager is going to – you add another receiver to this unit – you can move Rager to the inside, you can move to the out. It doesn't matter what you do. You can move him all over the place. But just listen to this. Like, this is going to work. If they get another receiver, that's going to really take the top off. And I think Rager could do that already. But you get that dog physical receiver. You get that guy that opens in space, stretches out that defense, does a good job. You have something really good cooking right now. You really do. I think you have something good cooking like crazy. We got Nathan Rizzo with another super chat. He said, I need this coaching staff. Saw that Travis Fulgham did last year early on. They need to develop him and get him back to that will be crucial. And I think that's what's really important. And I agree, Nathan, because Travis Fulgham was just one of those guys, came to the team, and when he was forced to play, that comeback win from the 49ers game. I understand that the 49ers had a bad quarterback playing. I understand they had a lot of injuries. The 49ers were pretty much dealing with the same injury bug we were dealing with, and they lost a lot of good players. So I thought Travis Fulgham was playing well. Every single game was playing well, the first few games. And then all of a sudden, when these other veteran receivers come back, this is what happens. He gets benched. And then he comes back, in splutters. He comes back like one play here, one play there. And he's dropping balls. And Doug had to say, and Doug was giving excuses on why for his benching. Even with Jordan Mailata's benching, it didn't matter who it was. He always had an excuse for these players getting benched, and it made no sense why. I just don't get what this coaching staff, what they think, what they were trying to do last year. These offensive assistants, it just made no sense, guys. Like, it just didn't. It really makes me sick to my stomach, man. Jeff Murphy says, watch for that overlooked player making a huge impact this year. If Holyfield sees the field, he will tear it up. Bank on it. He runs angry. And I know he does. He had a really good camp last year. I had clips that I should have saved. And he was making the first guy miss. This is a guy he's a bruiser back that has a little bit of elusiveness to his legs. Okay, and his footwork is fantastic. He was making the first guy miss at practice nonstop, but all of a sudden, he just never got his chance. He was activated for one game in 2020. One game. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to play. We're going to see what he's got. He's going to have his chance. And guess what? He didn't get one snap. He didn't get one snap that whole time. Not one snap. I was so upset over it. I was really upset over that. No joke. I was like, really? I'm like, the guy gets activated. He's probably sitting there like, oh, I can't wait to get my chance. Okay. Can't wait to get my chance, but doesn't get it. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how they do these things. I really don't. Eagle Slayer says JG might not even make the roster. Probably not. He might be practice squad. I don't think there's room. They draft another receiver. He's pretty much done. He has a huge ladder to climb unless he comes back in 2021 and he becomes some huge receiver. He just blows us away. That's going to be the only time it's really going to surprise me. Really. That's the only time it's going to surprise me. I'm not even kidding at this point. I'm really not. Batmall says, if we take a receiver in round 2, who would you want? Terrace Marshall or Rashad Bateman are my two guys. And I hope Rashad Bateman does move down. But I hope if the Eagles do move up back in the first round, they either get Rashad Bateman or maybe draft Terrace Marshall. I think Terrace Marshall is most likely going to be a late first to a... I don't know if he's going to slide to second, but I'm hoping he does. I think maybe Rashad Bateman will get... he will stay in the late first round. I think that's where I'm going to have him right now. But one of those two guys I'm totally fine with. Totally fine. Cassie Saldana says, we have so much talent with these wide receivers. Honestly, I think any of them could just break out. And I think you're right, guys. Like, that's see fans just want, they look at the crazy name in college that's going to be a top 10 pick, and they just want to draft him. And the thing is, we've dipped at wide receiver last year. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've dipped at wide receiver last year. They might go after another receiver this year. Guys, we need to hit these. We need to develop these receivers because we have so many that have done, like, each of these receivers we have on this roster right now have done really good things. Have had their moments. Have had their times. Their divine moment as an Eagle, okay? And we've ruined that by putting these veterans over these guys. From veterans coming back from injury. Jordan Mailata. Jason Peters comes back. Jordan Mailata gets benched. I mean, Travis Fulgham. Greg Ward doesn't... Quez Watkins doesn't even play until Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. So why wasn't Quez Watkins in any games when Carson Wentz was playing? It was already enough we didn't have a run game. So it's just, I don't know what this team was doing at this time, but I think you go up and you see what these receivers could do. Somebody is going to do, this is why this is going to be hard, because now if you draft another receiver, how many receivers are you keeping? Are you keeping 6? I'd say 6 receivers. As long as there's no injuries, I think you're keeping 6 receivers this year. I mean, that's just me. 5, I don't think so. I think you can carry a little bit more than that, but not sure. I think 6 is where you're really going to go with receiver. But Cassius, perfect question. Market Spikes, JJ is gone. It might be. Ernesto Chavez Aguilar says, imagine the Umbrella Man gets a breakout season. Ha, dream big. Jeff Bone and Pooey, what's going on, man? Peace and blessings, y'all. Appreciate it, man, for coming in. Much appreciated. Cameron Spriggs says, but Fulgham is a beast. I'm telling you, he is. He is. Really good on those 50-50 balls. He gets separation. He does, and especially, when Carson Wentz extended plays, I think Fulgham was just one of those guys that was always open and just knows how to get open when the quarterback's in trouble. And with Jalen Hurts, it was much better, obviously, because Jalen Hurts could move on his own, and he's got more of that skill set you could use. So there's a lot of good things to take from that. But Fulgham can't wait. Rishi Lair said, I would take Terrace Marshall in round 2 if we do not get Smith or Waddle. I agree with that. I think that's the plan. If we don't get Devontae Smith or Waddle, you go after Terrace Marshall in the second round. That's definite. You draft one of these guys. I think the guy I don't want as receiver to be drafted is Kadarius Toney. I'm not a big fan. I like Kadarius Toney, but I think Kadarius Toney was kind of the player we drafted last year, and Jalen Reagor kind of line him up everywhere, kind of do some things like that. So, yeah, that's where I was kind of looking at it. You know what I mean? Torville says, didn't Fulgham have surgery in the offseason? Yes, he did. I forgot what he had surgery on, but I think he did have surgery, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think it's anything that serious. I could be wrong. FZSB says, Hightower's a route running demon. No need to draft a receiver high in the draft. You know what? I know John Hightower, he had some issues with drops early in the year. Okay, I'll give him that. He had a couple drops, and then they ran almost the same route with him. It was just a go route. He was just going deep all the time. I think Hightower could be used so much differently, and use him to the middle of the field. Put him on some slants. Do some posts. Do something. You know what I mean? I think Hightower could do so much more. It's just so embarrassing when you look at this offense. You're like, you see all these guys that had these little success. I can't even talk right now. These these short little success stories that they've had in 2020. And you're like, there's so much more these guys could do. It's like, I don't want to give up on these guys. I don't want to give any of these players away to other teams. That's the one thing I don't want to happen. Okay, that's what I definitely don't want to happen at all. There is 143 people to chat, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like this video. If you guys have not, really just helped the channel a lot. If you guys haven't, want to support me fully, check the links down below. And if you guys have not, there is a link down below for the podcast name for me and Philly 500. If you guys haven't heard, we have a podcast every single week. We need a podcast name, so go to the video in the description below and comment on that video, on that link. Any type of name. You'll win a grand prize by next Saturday, when the winner will be, not this Saturday coming up, but next Saturday, the week before the draft, when the winner will be announced. So please check that out as well. We are very excited. So this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing our second episode of our podcast on Philly 500's channel. Then a week before the draft, we'll be back on my channel, obviously. So we're switching back and forth. So look out for that, guys. Jason Nelson, I agree with Michael Fox. Defensive end is a weak position. You're the one, the title. They had 2 solid rotation D-line. I like to see them trade for an edge rusher. This draft looks weak for the D-line. I think, I don't trust the health of Derek Barnett. I'd rather just put Josh Sweat in for more reps. I think that makes more sense. I don't think Josh Sweat plays good in a rotation. I think he plays better when he's out there longer. The more reps he gets, the hotter he gets, the more plays he will make. With Derek Barnett there, I really don't know who else is really going to wow you. Brandon Graham's at the end of the line of his career, this year, and then see what happens. But telling you right now, there's a lot going for this. Defensive line. You have 2 defensive tackles right now. They're making a lot of money right now. Fletcher Cox is a $23 million cap hit. Javon Hargrave got hurt, kind of disappeared, came back for a couple games. You saw him get in the backfield, do some good things, and then obviously he disappeared again. So Javon Hargrave, I think, should have a really good year this year. I think switching schemes, from a 3-4 to a 4-3, and obviously just the injury and everything else like that, I think everything just kind of messed up. I think Hargrave should help Fletcher Cox. Cox should help Hargrave because he could take those one-on-ones, okay? I don't want to put too much money into this defensive line anymore. We got to start paying. I would love to pay a franchise linebacker for years to come. I'd like to pay for, I know we've already paid a corner in Darius Slade, but I want to see a young guy get drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles this year and kind of prove himself as a cornerback and really earn that money he's going to get. Like, I need to see it. I don't want to take a chance on a Sidney Jones type player with an injury. I don't want to take a chance on a player that's had injury. That's what I don't want to take. Like, Caleb Farley is one of those guys where they still think he's going late first, which I don't know why. This guy has had back surgeries. This guy's been hurt a lot, okay? And I wouldn't even touch him. There's no taking a chance. Those words, taking a chance. I'm not taking a chance on him. I'm not even bothering with it. I'd rather take Jalen Wild that dealt with an ankle injury than take Caleb Farley that has had back surgeries and all this stuff. There's no way I'm even taking a chance on that and then waste this draft pick on a what if or a take a chance type player. So it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to look at, guys. Sorry, I go on and on. I try to make sense, and sometimes I don't make sense, but that's how it is. Bruce Fraud just came across Brett Coleman's last mock draft video before the 2020 draft, and he had Hurts going to the Saints in the first round. Had a stat that Hurts had some of the best deep field accuracy. I think he's got an arm. I think he does. I think he's got to work on just his normal mechanics, because there were times where Hurts rolled out and totally bogged those passes. He's done that before. He did it a few times. He's dropped the ball. He's fumbled the ball a couple times on his own. But he's done some good things too. That's why I can't take these 4 games and say he's horrible, he's trash, and whatever. I mean, trust me. Like, as soon as week 1 comes, I'm focusing my eyes. What the hell is that? My eyes on Jalen Hurts. Okay, I'm focusing my eyes on Jalen Hurts this year. You thought I was bad with Carson. You wait. Okay, since everyone thinks I hated Carson this whole time, which I did not. Now I do, because now I hear the truth and now I know what's going on. But before, I just told the truth, and that was it, and people didn't like it. I made a video about Carson Wentz and Doug after the first game. People didn't like me for it. Didn't care. So it is what it is. FC's B says Laurie was making the game day roster. And maybe, it could be. I don't know. But Nick Sirianni will be in charge of game day. Who's gonna be playing? And Howie Roseman, I think Howie Roseman has gotten Nick's. I think Nick's voice has been with Howie Roseman. I think that they are changing things a little bit. My speculation about this offseason is they are changing a little bit. I don't think I think Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is so nice, and I feel like he's in this draft. I just have this energy that Nick Sirianni is in this draft. Like I just feel like he is. I think that's where it's really important. You know what I mean? I think that he's got his ear a little bit. I think Nick Sirianni has some collaborative effort with Howie Roseman in this draft and what he's done. And, free agency wasn't a paradise either because we had like $3 million at first. Okay, and then Anthony Harris and Eric Wilson, and we were very slow in free agency, but we were strategic. So we actually got some good players that have proven to be pretty solid players. So to get those two guys wasn't a bad move. Getting Jordan Howard, was that a bad move? I don't think so. I'm a huge Jordan Howard fan. He did nothing with Miami getting that big contract. Did nothing with Miami. Miami stopped using him. They were, even he said they were using him the wrong way. Okay, just like when we traded for Jay Ajayi in 2017. Like that Miami offense was ranked dead last in offense. Dead last. And we picked him up and look what we did because we used him the right way. Because we had better weapons, obviously, and we just used them the right way. Jordan Howard in 2019, same story. We used them the right way. We did good things. I mean, he gets, Jordan Howard gets to that second level. Okay? He gets to that second level. You got some good things going. I mean, he could get contact and drive guys for another 5 to 7 yards, guys. Those are good things to take out of Jordan Howard. People say, oh, he's washed, blah, blah. He's 26 years old. Like, he's still young. You know what I mean? So don't give up on players too easily, guys, just because they go somewhere else and don't do anything. Obviously, there's a reason why. It's the Miami Dolphins at the end of the day, too. So, I mean, they just like to spend money. They go in free agency and they spend. I mean, they spend like crazy. Then, obviously when the season comes, they don't even know how to use players. So, there's a lot that goes into it. Big Play Slate, he says, keep smashing that like button. Appreciate it, man. Guys haven't smashed that like button. Batmall says, why do we need 4+ running backs this season, which is such a low cap space? I don't think you're going to have 4 running backs. I think you're going to have 3 running backs. I think you're going to have Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, and Boston Scott. I think those are your 3 running backs, okay? AK-46, okay? Adrian Killens is going to be on special teams this year. He's not going to be in this lineup. Jason Huntley's a really good player, too. Jason Huntley's good. We picked him up from the Lions. Like, he had a really good offseason with the Lions last year. Fantastic. He's another small running back that can catch out of the backfield, could be another wide receiver. I think he only had a couple snaps, but Huntley's a good player, but there's just no room for him here. I think he's going to be special teams. I think he's going to, probably be practice squad. So I don't know. It depends what they do with him. They probably put him on special teams. Okay. And obviously, they're with the other bruiser backs we have. They're going to be on special teams or whatever that we talk. Elijah Holyfield. Sorry, forgot his name again. Elijah Holyfield will probably be on special teams, which he shouldn't be. But unfortunately, this front office and how they. Just give it time, guys. Look. I'm not going to go into it because it's a new era. It's a young squad. We're doing different things now. Just leave it at that. I ain't going to go crazy. Let me take a sip of my water because my mouth feels like the Sahara Desert right now. Sahara Desert. Matt Hall says, how drafts Atlantic Ocean bottom feeders? Oh, how he drafts. I said how drafts. I'm like, what's how drafts? Torville said J. Joel went to Stanford. He will end up at the Eagles in the analytics department. Shane Trent says, each solution, trade your best one. Matt says Parsons would look good in Eagles green or even Smith or Waddle. I like all 3 of those players. I think if Smith or Waddle is there, you take one of those players at the end of the day. Bruce says Elijah Moore from Ole Miss is a beast. I wonder where he's going to get drafted. I haven't heard from anybody where he's getting drafted. I don't know why. If you guys have obviously you have some insight, let me know. Vic Klops X-Men said, hit up, sup, y'all. What's going on, Vic Klops? How you doing, bro? Bruno, tell us who who you draft in our 4 picks, 12, 37, 7, 84, really like, I'm not really going as far as 4th round, but at least the first 3 rounds, you're getting receiver, corner, receiver. I would love to take Devontae Smith in the 1st round or Jalen Waddle. You go into the 2nd round, get Asante Samuel Jr., you get Newsome, you get one of those cornerbacks. Go in the 3rd round, get yourself a linebacker and Jabril Cox if you have a chance to. You can do that. Those are 3 picks that I would definitely be really happy about at the end of the day. I think we'd be happy with all 3 of those picks. Or you go J.C. Horn in the 1st round or Patrick Surtain and go draft Harris Marshall in the 2nd round or move up for Rashad Bateman, or if you have to move up for either one of those players just to be safe. I think that's where you're going to go. St. Trent Moore equals Coles from the Jets. Remember that guy? I remember Cole. I do. I remember. Eagles says I could see Watkins or Hightower breaking out the most. I could see all these guys doing a good job. Jay Dudley says we need J.C. Horn. I would love J.C. Horn. Tortville said Hightower needs an NFL strength conditioning program. He has to develop physicality at the NFL level. He has the speed, but he is a little timid going for the ball, contested passes. And I think you're kind of right on that. When I've seen him with the 50-50 balls, I think that one he caught against Dallas, I think, was really good. I think that was one where he just caught it and the guy kind of fell and he just ran upfield. But I think he just needs to work a little harder, obviously. I think they just need to use him better. I just don't think they're using him to his strengths. Like, don't just throw it up to him on go routes. You know what I mean? That's where I kind of put up the flag there. We got a super chat from Inferno Productions. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. He said, "Hey Joey, it's been a while. It's been a while, man. Sorry I haven't been active recently. I've been very busy with work, and my internet just got back to running normally. Excited for the season, Sirianni and Hurt season. Well, I'm glad your internet's running. I'm glad you're back to getting back on here and joining these streams. And I'm ready, man. I'm excited." Sirianni makes me want to jump through a wall. He really does. I mean, he excites me. He excites me from how, I just want to be happy with this draft. I really want to get off this draft. I want to get past this draft and say we did a really good job, and how I want to actually thank Howie Roseman after this draft. That's what I want, and that's what I'm praying for, guys. Like, look, guys, they need to figure out, like, the title of this video, figuring out the formula to draft. Like, we can't go by every year and be worried every year about the draft, but obviously we have plenty of reason to. But they need to figure out, draft whoever you want you think is going to be a great player for the future of this team. But at the end of the day, your formula for drafting, who talks with who and who does this and who do you listen to, they need to figure out the formula of how they do it behind the scenes, because that's what they're not doing right. They're not doing it correctly. Because till this day, I don't believe, till this day, I don't believe that Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, that whole front office agreed on the Jalen Hurts pick. I don't think they all agreed on the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pick. I think Jeffrey Lurie has jumped in on some of these picks and kind of said, nah, we're drafting him. I have a feeling that Jeffrey Lurie has pretty much stopped Howie from doing his job as well. So I think there's a lot of power struggle and there's a lot of things going around. But guys, at the end of last year, Jeffrey Lurie has got to be saying to his GM and saying, look, whoever we're drafting is not producing. Why are we restructuring every single year? Why are we in cap hell right now? Why are draft picks not becoming, or that are not getting paid, or they're not producing? Those are the questions that he's definitely asking himself, and that was the talk of the start of the new season in 2021. Okay, like it's really important, guys. Like, it's important to figure out, like, hey, what are you gonna do here? So, at the end of the day, guys, like, they got to figure out that formula to draft better. That's really it. They really have to do it better. So, appreciate the super chat, Inferno, man. Much love, dude. Much love. If you guys haven't liked this video, haven't subscribed, appreciate you do. Got a lot of stuff going on, especially the next, all year, guys. I cover the Eagles all year. So, if you guys haven't subscribed either, please subscribe and like the video. If you guys haven't checked out the link either for the new podcast video that we did, the first podcast with Philly 500 last Saturday, go to that video and click the link below to that video. Comment on a new podcast name. Me and Philly 500 looking for a new podcast name. Should be a lot of fun. Very excited about it. And it was a very successful stream. I thought it was fun. I thought people were really interactive with us, and it was really cool. And we were, we don't have to be too professional every single, I can't stand being professional on YouTube. I like just talking. And that's it. Further AM, what's going on, bro? He says, what is the likely pick knowing Howie? I have no idea. If it's up to me right now to see that what they're doing or what I think that they're doing right now, I honestly think they're going after a playmaker on offense. If that's me, I think that's what they're doing. I don't think about quarterbacks. I don't think about any of that anymore. I think it's just bunch of smoke screens right now. So we'll see what happens. Marcos Garcia says, Travis, the new Megatron. I wish I could say that right now, but we're just going to have to wait and see. The Nest Out West with Philly Foothills says, I think Howie moved us back to simplify his job at 12. He highly reduced his chances to miss. Shout out to the Nest Out West with Philly Foothills. Guys haven't subscribed to his channel. He is another Eagles content creator that brings a little bit of flair to the channel. So if you guys haven't checked it out, click on his name, subscribe to his channel. He's almost going to be hitting 1,000 subscribers. I hope he gets there a lot quicker before the season starts. So much love to you, man. I don't think he moves back in this draft. I don't. I think he did it. I think he got what he needed from moving back 6 to 12. You get your first round pick from Miami. I think you have ammo now where you can move back up from to 7 to 8 or 9 between there and go get your guy if that's the case. If they want to move up, if that's what they want to do, that's really up to them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Cassie Sedana says, I have a feeling that Nick Sirianni will use Travis Fulgham. I'm expecting good things from Fulgham this year. I am too. I'm expecting a real, I want to see a very a huge competition at camp with every position this year. I want to see guys fighting for their jobs, fighting for their lives in the NFL this coming off season, this camp. Okay. Hector Reynolds says, Hightower's not aggressive, won't come back to the ball. I think you're right on that. He only did it, I think to come way back to the ball. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I thought I saw him do it maybe one time, but obviously I don't think he's great. I don't think that's his strong suit. So 1437 Bain says, no, we need Rondale Moore in the second round. Could get him as well. Chris Minerva says, what do you think happening with Ertz and he'll like to be traded in the draft? It's either he's getting traded before the draft night, or by post-June. That's it. I have no idea. I would try to trade him draft night. You save over $4 million. Just kill two birds with one stone. Trade Zach Ertz. Use him in a sweet deal. I think that's what they have to do. That Bills trade really made me want to do it. I mean, you trade your second round pick and Zach Ertz for the 30th overall for the Bills. I think that's a sweet deal. I think that's fair on both sides because honestly, guys, they're moving from 30 to 37. Okay, the Bills are pretty loaded. Okay, so if they get somebody, it's only going to be at that point, it's only going to be a luxury pick, and they can still get another luxury. They can still get, the Bills can still get a luxury pick at 37, 36, whatever it is. So I think 37, they can still get that luxury pick they need, and the Eagles get the 30th pick, and they can still pick in the first round. You can draft two guys. That's why, guys, don't turn the TV off after pick 12. Everybody keep watching because or if they move up earlier, it is what it is. But just wait till the end of that draft. If he doesn't move up, I highly doubt he's going to move back up into the first. That's just me because of just how he is. But he's got no excuse with these draft picks. I mean, absolutely nothing. No excuse whatsoever. Hector Renner said, Hightower caused the pick by not attacking on the route. Oh, yeah, what was that? The first game against Washington? Where Carson Wentz threw it in the same... See, whose fault is that? Is that Carson's fault or is that Hightower? I think it's just chemistry in general between them two. It probably wasn't good. I just don't think it was good. Period, I don't think it was good at all. We have a super chat from Dennis Watson. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat, my friend. He says, why don't you interview players or draft props? I think you would be good at it. I'm not a big fan of doing that. I will interview some people. I've already talked to a couple people already. I haven't talked to prospects or anything like that, but maybe down the line, I'm just not interested in interviewing Eagles beat writers, pretty much the guys that are going to say the same thing I'm saying to you guys right now. I understand it's cool and all, and everybody, some of these YouTubers are doing that. That's their thing, whatever they want to do. But I'm not into doing all that, and I don't care how much I'm trying. I'm just not into it. I don't really care. I'd rather interview other guys from other channels or other kind of collab with guys from other YouTube channels. I mean, I think I would do that, but if something comes along where I can't pass it up, or if it's something like that, then maybe down the road. But as of right now, to like go and pick the brain of a beat writer or somebody else that I really that pretty much knows as much as I do, unless they have more inside information, that's a different story at the end of the day. So not really into it. But hey, Dennis, I appreciate the question. No one's really asked me that, but hey, I guess you guys got your answer pretty much. But yeah, I'm not really into it too much, man. I just like talking Eagles as a fan, and I'm not trying to be a newscaster. I'm not trying to be a broadcaster. I'm not trying to, you never know at this point. If CBS came up and said, hey, we want you to come on, then yeah, it's a different story. But, that's never going to happen. But, it is what it is. But, Dennis, appreciate it, man. Jerry May just says, with the super chat, much appreciated, man. Says, as long as Howie is here, the team is toast. Give it time, bro. Give it time. Just give this draft. Just give it some time. I just can't. I just feel there's something in the air right now. I feel like with Sirianni and how he is towards just how he talks football, I feel like he's got something to do with this whole entire process. I can't look away from it. I just can't look away from it right now. So. Shane Trent says, imagine the Eagles target a running back wide receiver in first round for Purdue again. Yuck. Running back wide receiver? I would not agree with that whatsoever. I'd be in total shambles. J. Marquis says, what safety should we look at? Don't believe in Wallace? Well, it wasn't a question, obviously, but it was a statement. He don't believe in Wallace. I don't know. I think Wallace will get his chance. See, obviously, Rudy Ford, he's not on the team anymore. He signed with another team. You picked up that, I think, Adams. I forgot that corner, that safety / special teamer from the Buccaneers. That, he's had some starting experience, but I don't think he's anything fantastic. But he's 28 years old. He's a veteran. So you have a veteran safety back there, another veteran safety back there. I think Kevon Wallace gets his shot. And I think, he wasn't used the right... Kevon Wallace never really had a shot last year either. None of these guys, these young guys that been drafted, none of these guys had their shot. Nobody had their shot, period. Nobody did. Okay? Kevon Wallace has a huge shot. I'm giving him that shot, but am I a big fan to say he's going to be a success? I have no idea. I mean, this is a guy that admires Brian Dawkins, played at Clemson. He was at that draft when we drafted Kevon Wallace, he was ranked like one of the best high-graded prospects that were going to be steals in that draft. And obviously the Eagles had to change their coaching staff because they can't develop players, period. If you can get rid of Sidney Jones, L.J. Fort was probably the one that made me so angry the most out of all of them. Okay, L.J. Fort was probably the one that really just, had made me so angry. I think he's a free agent right now, actually. I don't know why. I thought he signed not even 2 games. L.J. Fort got released. Not even 2 games. Not even 2 games in with the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? He signs a 4-year extension. Not even 2 games. This is what I'm talking about. Rasul Douglas, Sidney Jones. They go to, Sidney Jones goes to the Jags. I'm seeing Sidney Jones pick off Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, where was this? I'm like, where was this? I'm confused. Like, I really was confused. I'm like, where was this Sidney Jones? Rasul Douglas was more of a press man corner. He was using his big body, putting his hands on receivers. He was with Carolina, obviously. It just makes no sense to me. This is the problem I'm having. Jeff Murray says, gotta love Hurts as a person, tremendous role model, and great attitude and work ethic. I think he checks the box on almost everything. I mean, almost everything. I mean, I can't complain about him whatsoever. I really can't, because his determination, and you know what? He's been through adversity. He went to Alabama and had to deal with what? He went to Bama and had to deal with what? 4 or 5 other prime quarterbacks that were in front of him, and pretty much got to the top and beat them all. Obviously, had to deal with some adversity, had to deal with benching. and had to come back, and then obviously transferring to Oklahoma where he had 52 touchdowns between his legs and throwing the football. So, I mean, when I see Jalen Hurts with weapons around him, I'm telling you, it's going to be something so dangerous. And I'm telling you right now, like, with that skill set ability of him running with his legs and having weapons at the same time, it will be unstoppable in this Nick Sirianni offense. That's why, guys, I do not care what any NFC East fans say and these other teams, because it doesn't matter what you have on paper. Like, it's all about what you have in your system, and it's all about just how you run your offense at the same time, guys. Like, I don't care how many, you could be the New York Jets in 2019. They spent $123 million on players. 123 guaranteed dollars. Millions. And they didn't even win like 4 games. They had so many good players and couldn't do anything because of their system. Okay? I don't care. Like, that's what people ask me about the New York Giants and all the, like, they're excited. They haven't been excited in a long time. And they're going to come out. They're going to start coming out of their caves with the passion. They're going to finally have passion for their team because they haven't, I live in New York, okay? So when you say, oh, how do you know? I live in New York, okay? I am around Jet fans and Giant fans my whole life, okay? And I know how they act around here. Like, it's nothing like Philly. Never will be nothing like Philly. And I've been to Philly a million times. I've stayed in Philly. I've slept over in Philly. I've been in Philly a million times. It's nothing like it. I go to MetLife for a game, and these Giant and Jet fans are like, they're not even like, they're the most unpassionate people. I just feel like they just come out when their team is up. I mean, that's really it. That's what I see from it. That's what I see from it. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Denzel Burress is Surtain overrated. I don't mind Surtain. I think he gets a little. I think he gets a little handsy. I see him get a little handsy, and I hope he can get away with that in the NFL. And what I do like about Surtain a lot, he studies receivers. Like the receiver that he's going to be on, he studies them all week. And I saw a few passes where the quarterback threw right to Surtain. I saw Surtain run the route that the receiver ran. It looked like he was throwing to him. I mean, it was actually pretty amazing. It was actually pretty cool to see that. You know what I mean? But he's got a high football IQ. He's got good knowledge, and he studies who he's facing every week. I think that's the good thing about him. Puts his head in the books. You know what I mean? Jeremiah Match said the Eagles are the new Bengals. I'd say the new Browns. I mean, I'd say like we'd probably be the new Browns more than the Eagles. I think it's been worse than the Bengals. I think Browns is more lower than the Bengals, unless you think the Bengals are lower. But that's opinion. Batmal says Tronwell would be horrible. Kasasi Saldana says Sewell eats toxic weeds for breakfast. He's going to be very special in the NFL. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be a very good player. Jason Russell says if both Smith and Horn are on the board at 12, who are you taking? Smith and Horn, I'm taking Smith in 2 seconds. Smith in 2 seconds. If Smith is on the board with Paxton Tate or J.C. Horn there, Devontae Smith is getting taken in an instant. I'm not even thinking about it. You're going by best player available. Okay, you're not going by need. I understand we don't have a corner right now, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the Eagles are doing at cornerback, obviously opposite Darius Slade, because there's no one there. Like Avonte Maddox, sorry, but you're not playing outside, bro. You're not doing it. They're not playing outside. You're sticking to the end. You're either going to try to compete for the inside corner spot, or you're going to try to go at safety, or I don't know. I don't know what to do with Avonte Maddox at this point. He's going to have a little uphill battle this year on defense to really see where they're going to put him. I want to see how Jonathan Gannon really uses him. So I'm not a fan of him on the outside, but I think you're taking Devontae Smith at the end of the day. You're going to get that. You're going to get that elite receiver. You're going to go get your number one receiver instantly. Batmal says trading up for Sewell will be terrible. Nah, you know what? I don't think we're not in dire need of a tackle right now. Mulata, I think we need some depth at tackle, obviously, because Dillard. I don't think he's going to be much of anything unless they want to cross-train him. I don't know if they're going to do that. They might not. I have no idea. But I think at the end of the day, you got a really good tackle at 6'8", 350 pounds in Jordan Mulata that has violent hands, has natural strength, and he plays with a very physical, nasty edge. Like, he pushes you on the ground, you get back up, he's pushing you back on the ground. That's just the way he is. Okay, that's just how it goes with Jordan Mailata. I like Nate Herbig. I like Jack Driscoll. I think those are the one thing I'd say about the Eagles they've done pretty good is they've been drafting pretty good linemen. I mean, in the mid rounds, they've been doing a pretty good job drafting pretty good linemen. Jack Driscoll started the first game, played amazing. He literally had, I think he blocked the wrong guy once or twice, but he's a rookie going to an NFL game. I mean, I can't put too much on him there, but played fantastic. Nate Herbig was blocking Aaron Donald one-on-one by himself. See, Nate Herbig is like, he's very short, but he's stocky. He's low to the ground, he's short, and he's stocky. He gets under those pads. I'm telling you, I watched him against Aaron Donald, and I was like really amazed. And he was ranked like, his ranks were getting higher and higher each week. He was playing fantastic, okay? He was playing amazing. So Andre Dillard is going to be one of those players that's like, okay, well, I'm kind of done with him. Like, I don't know what we're going to do with him. His body just can't hold up in the NFL right now. And obviously the Eagles really messed him up. They didn't do any favors to him at all. They didn't do any favors for Andre Dillard. Because you redshirt him his rookie year as a first-round pick. Who gets drafted in the first round, you don't even start him on the field. I mean, see what he's got. You put him in preseason, but you won't start him on the field. Don't get that. And then he has 3 starts. He plays right tackle for 1 start. You blew his confidence out of the water, which still made no sense to me whatsoever. I was still confused over putting him at right tackle. Why'd you do that? See, me, I was an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman in high school, okay, and in college. So I played offensive line, left and right tackle. I was a left tackle most of my career, but at right tackle, it felt okay, but I still wasn't 100% because it's totally different. Like, it feels weird when you have to run the opposite way. You know what I mean? It's just it's opposites. It's just opposite of what you have to do. That's why. Why they did that, I have no idea. Lane Johnson even switched to left tackle. Remember a few years ago he switched to left tackle when Jason Peters went down, and he actually played okay, but he looked really awkward at left tackle. He didn't play well. So that's what happened. Shane Trent Sertain always been overrated. Look at the 99 championship game. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know, man. I think those 2 corners are going to be good. I think if Dallas takes one of those guys, they're going to have a nice upgrade at cornerback. I think that's where it's going to go right there. Jamal, offense and defense will be top 10 this year. Do you believe? Really, I don't know. That's just a wait-and-see approach. I'm just going to take that wait-and-see approach and see what happens. Defensively, it depends how good defensively, it all depends on our corner coverage, and then our pass rush. I got to see Derek Barnett put some work in, because if you don't even have Derek Barnett doing anything, you don't have Javon Hargrave helping Fletcher Cox. I mean, that's why Fletcher Cox annoys me, because we pay him so much money. He's a $23 million cap hit. He annoys me the most because he took like a little restructure that was like $5 million savings. Okay, whoop-de-doo, who cares? But I really just didn't, see, when I see Aaron Donald play, he's just pushing offensive lines all over the place. When I see Fletcher Cox, he disappeared for like 4 or 5 weeks. You know what I mean? He had a half a sack in like 4 to 5 games. So when I look at Fletcher Cox, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just like, where's this monstrous man that needs to show up? He shows up, but then he disappears, and then he comes back. And I love Fletcher Cox, but sometimes he disappears. I don't like that. Aaron Donald every single game. More consistent. Okay, more consistent. That I'll say, okay, but and Fletcher Cox is 30 years old, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to start, Javon Hargrave is the future of this defensive line, and I gotta see more from him, you know what I mean? Because he's the next one getting paid a lot of money. Not as much as Fletcher Cox, but he's getting paid a lot of money right now. Got to look at it like that. Hold on. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything here. If I missed something, please let me know. I did. Hold on. We have a super chat from Jerry Magis. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. He says, will Najee Harris be drafted in the first round? I don't know. I don't think so. Because there's so many late first round to receivers, 4 quarterbacks being taken. I don't see it happening. I think maybe in the second is more realistic. I don't think first round, unless someone really takes a dire chance on him. I don't think that's going to happen. And whatever team gets him, he's good. I like him a lot. We got a super chat from Jerry, but it's just no matter which corner we draft, they're getting burned by Tyreek Hill. You know what? I think what you could take from the Tyreek Hill stuff as well, like when you find those players, I think like a JC Horn could cover a guy like that downfield. Obviously, he has to study that player. Tyreek has that speed, but if you have a quarterback that's unsettled in the pocket, that's why our pass rush has to be good. Because if we face receivers like that, which we're facing KC this year, you have to watch out for that. I mean, they have a track star receiving core. But look how the Buccaneers played. They played physical. They had pressure. A little bit of adversity for KC on offense for that offensive line, and look what happened. Like they couldn't even deal with it. Welcome to our world on switching our offensive line 14 times during the year. I mean, Jeff Stalin, let me tell you. I mean, thank God he's back, man. Thank God he's back. We got another super chat from Nathan Rizzo. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Much love, man, to one of the loyalist subscribers on here. He says, I'm going to say this for the people in the back, but I'm holding Kevon Dawkins to his word this year. Step it up and earn it while McLeod is on IR. I think you got to take advantage. I think Kevon Wallace has to take advantage of that, okay? So should be really excited to see what he does. I mean, look, like I think he's got the passion, he's got the mouth, and because he talks a lot, and he just needs to show it with his play, guys. Like, I don't hate Kevon Wallace, but every time I run by him on Twitter, he's always talking. He's always saying something. He's always, even during the season, he was like, oh, if you're, we were losing games. He was like, if you're not on the ship, if you're not with us, then, don't even support us. Or he said something like that. I was like, dude, stop it. You're on special teams right now. Stop acting like you're something special right now, because you're not. Okay, so you gotta, it's crazy. Joker's Oblivion says Fletcher Cox got paid and production went downhill. I agree 100%. I do. I think his production is not what it used to be. I don't. Shane Trent says Pitts ain't going past 5. That's all. I'm hoping he goes past 5, bro. I hope he does. Okay, Jason L says, speaking on Aaron Donald, dude just knocked out some rando out of... Oh, I read about that. On Twitter. Yeah, he, punched somebody. Imagine getting punched by Aaron Donald. Man, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Let's just say that. Eagle Slayer says, Fletch should get traded next year for compensation. It's just the man, same with Ertz and Graham. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's going to be a big decision they're going to have to make. If they have a chance next year to use a first-round pick on a good defensive tackle and want to produce some guys, I need to see what our team looks like at the end of this year. Who has rose to the top? Who's been absolutely nothing this year? Just need to see it. Happen. I don't know what the case is. There is 160 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate it. It's 11:49 at night. It's almost 12 o'clock. It's almost 12 in the morning. You guys are sticking with your boy Joey Shakes, which I do appreciate it. If you guys haven't liked the stream, hit like on the stream. It really does help support the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed either, subscribe, guys, because a lot more news is coming out in the coming weeks. We cover Eagles all year round. This train never stops when you're here. Join the Shake Squad Army with memberships. Check description below for the video for me and Philly 500 working on a new podcast name. If you comment on that video at the link below and put in any podcast name, we're going to look at these podcast names next week, write the ones we like, and kind of vote on the one that we do want. If you're the winner of that podcast name that gives the podcast name, you will win a prize before the draft. Probably by not this Saturday, next Saturday will be on my channel. When we go back to my channel, we'll pick a winner from that. So check that out, guys. We're getting more. We have a lot of names to look over, so much appreciate everybody that's in here. Batmall says, it doesn't matter if we go at 16-0. The rest of our games, we still lose to the Chiefs unless Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, or Tooney are injured. Yeah, you know what? it's going to be tough games. I mean, those are going to be tough. Even facing the Bucks, I mean, it's going to be tough, guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, we got to face some good. I want to see where our team is at by the time. Like, well, the schedule will come out probably this month sometime. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks our actual. I think April usually our schedule does come out. I have to see where this team is at when we face. Like, I don't want to face easy teams that are rebuilding. I want to face some really tough talent, and hopefully we have fans in the stands by that time to support this team. Because honestly, guys, having like with no capacity or 15% capacity is ridiculous. It doesn't do much of anything without the fans there. I really hope that it's full by that time, but I highly doubt it. But I want to see challenges. I want to see them overcome some challenges. Joker's Oblivious, the Steelers got to pick up Najee Harris. I think they will. I think they could. They don't have any running backs. I don't think they signed anybody in free agency either. I think they're wide open at running back right now. Christopher Gilpatrick says week 1 is going to be hard. Goes to BXMB said I think Rager is going to have a breakout year. I hope so. Shea Trench, Mahomes ain't everything. Now you see the Super Bowl. He's just another Wilson winning when losing immediately. And you know what? Like, when has KC really gone through any adversity through these Super Bowl runs? Like, when have they really gone through any adversity with their team? Like, they lost a lineman and they just fell apart. Like, I'm talking, they fell apart, bro. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, you lost Jason Peters during that Super Bowl year. And Halapuli Vaitai came right in and you didn't even have to see I think he gave up a sack. I think that Panthers game he gave up a sack. And I think that was it. And Vaitai did a fantastic job. And he's another one that's been injury prone. He got that 5 years, $50 million from Detroit to be that starting left tackle. And he ended up getting hurt for the whole entire year, right when he got paid. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. You know what I mean? Hold on. I'm trying to find... Caleb McHenry 39 says I could see us going D-line pretty early, maybe 3rd round. You look at Quincy Rote. I haven't looked at him. I've seen some other YouTubers do some videos on him, but I do like him. If you want to get him in the mid rounds, I'm good with it. I want to grab more depth for defensive line. I want to get another edge rusher. I mean, that's what I really want. Who do you have at defensive tackle right now? Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Hassan Ridgeway. They brought him back. I mean, he's a flash in the pan. He's just another guy that's had success. I think he's better against the run. His pass rush is not fantastic, but he clogs up that hole pretty good. I think he doesn't really get pushed around too much, so I do like Hassan Ridgeway for that aspect. Eagle Slayer says, follow to Arizona would make sense if they sign draft injury-prone retirement home players. We got Fly Peace 85. What's going on, man? It's been a while. Says, what's up, blessed people? How's everyone tonight? And how is life treating Shake Squad? Hey, I appreciate coming in, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Batmall says that Shane Trent, that game showed how incredible he is. He was injured. He showed off lightning speed, a hell of an arm and accuracy. The rest of the team didn't show up. Imagine if he was fully healthy. If you're talking about that Arizona game, I'm telling you, it was pretty amazing. I mean, obviously we still lost, but Torville says at least Donald didn't punch Goddard. Jerry Maja says, I'm happy that Alshon Jeffrey is gone. Aren't we all? I mean, look, I love Alshon. Big part of that Super Bowl. Played with an injury on top of it the whole year. But see, that contract, when we signed him to that 4-year deal, and I think, 2018 we signed him to that 4-year deal? It was actually a really good signing. I thought that was an excellent signing. That was a perfect signing for this team. But as soon as that contract happened, his production went down, and he was hurt every single year. That's what happened with Alshon Jeffrey. That was a downfall, pretty much. Joker Blips, I seriously wanted Kyle Pitts. He was my guy at 6. And hurt trading back. And unfortunately, that's the price we had to pay. But, at the end of the day, you could still get a valued player at 12. But, guys, just because they move back to 12 doesn't mean they'll move back up. They'll move back up because they have more compensation now. You know what I mean? They can move back up to, 9 or 6 or 9 or 8. Between 7 and 9 is probably more realistic. At least with Denver, it's probably realistic at 9. They could do that. Never know at this point. Jeff Mercer, I would trade Cox. I don't love Cox. Jamal Bailey, Clowney just signed for a year with the Browns. Clowney is like every single year, like with Tennessee, signed with Tennessee. He's trying to find that. He's trying to win a ring so badly right now. Like, he's really trying to pick, like, he's being careful what teams he's actually picking. Like, he's really trying to find that right fit. He wants to play on the opposite side of Myles Garrett. I understand that. Even I don't know what Clowney's stats were for Tennessee last year. I mean, every time he goes into a 1-year deal off season, he always tries to see, okay, which team is Super Bowl bound, which team will have interest in me. So I guess he thinks that the Browns will probably go to the Super Bowl next year. Nathan Rizzo with another super chat. Been going crazy today, bro. Appreciate it, man. He says, I'm assuming the Eagles feel comfortable now with Wilson, Singleton, Edwards, Taylor at linebacker. I think this group is the one that needs to show the most. And I think you're right because, with Jonathan Gannon, he likes to put those. I know he might do something with these linebackers going in coverage. I think that's what he wants, and I could tell with some of these skill sets that when he ended up getting Wilson on that 1-year deal. I think it was a total steal, guys. I think there was a lot of good things rolling with that. You know what I mean? You still have T.J. Edwards on the roster as well. He was a nice flash in the pan a couple years back. I think undrafted from I forgot what school he went to. Not Stanford. I forgot what school T.J. Edwards came from. But I think it's going to be good competition. I think it's going to be really good competition. Benny Cruz says, I have a bad feeling that Howie is going to give away everything to get Watson. I don't know what to believe. I want to know if this is legit interest. I think they're monitoring the situation, but I don't know if they're really... I think they're taking advantage of Deshaun Watson's situation because, honestly, guys, the longer these allegations go on, the less compensation they're going to have to give up. You know what I mean? The less compensation they have to give up for Deshaun Watson. If you really think about it and play smart with it, before all this stuff happened with Deshaun Watson, okay? He would have costed a fortune compensation-wise. But now, since this is getting dragged out and he can't do anything in the NFL right now, and he's not playing another snap for Houston, okay? Not happening. I think Jalen Ramsey stays in touch with Deshaun Watson. Said he's most likely not going to play another snap in Houston, which he's definitely not. Or if he's still signed and they don't trade him, he's just going to sit on the bench and do nothing. Or just sit home. I just need to see if this is like legit. I think they have interest, but they haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. Obviously, have they made a phone call? They might have once, maybe, but nothing's really promising with it. Tribe says Wentz can't carry Nick Foles' jockstrap. Batmall projecting Hurts members with a much better situation improvement. He will have 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 15 rushing touchdowns, around 4,000 total yards. Not a bad year. You're just projecting his numbers, and that's a good year. It's a good year regardless. I mean, you got 15 picks, but with 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, you're doing some. That means you're distributing the ball to a lot of these receivers, and that's what I want. I don't want to depend on one guy. Okay, I don't want to depend on one guy in this offense at all whatsoever. I want to depend on more guys in this offense because at the end of the day, that's how we won a Super Bowl. Like, it wasn't about the quarterback and one receiver. It was about the whole entire team. First, second, third, fourth string. It didn't matter who it was. I think it's a team effort at the end of the day. You can't rely on just one guy the whole entire game. I think that's definite. Joe Rubin, surprised Klein didn't sign with the Cardinals. That could have been another fit as well. Love Mike says, one linebacker I really want Philly to pick up is Jabril Cox. He does it all. I think he's great in coverage. I think he blitzes well. I think he's got good backfield recognition. I think it's another great player you could pick in the mid-rounds as well. Late second. It could be a third-round pick as well. So we'll see where he ends up. Shane Trent says, the only game that matters is the Super Bowl. So, of course, I'm talking Super Bowl. Batmall says, no jokers. They signed Watt, and the Browns needed an edge rusher. Big T says, dang, my super chat didn't pop up. I'm sorry, man. Did it? Did it not? I don't think it did, man. Did it pop up? Let me see. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't think it did. No. I'm sorry, man. I don't know. Maybe it could be. If you did, I appreciate it, bro. Much love, man. Big T, much love. Sorry about that, dude, if it didn't work. 223 says, as much as I hate Clowney, the bear with him, Myles Garrett, is kind of scary. Yeah, no, it's going to be a nice edge on both sides. I think it's going to be fantastic. But almost every game matters. How else would you get to the Super Bowl? There you go. Joker Oblivion said Wisconsin. TJ Edwards was undrafted from Wisconsin. Okay, thank you. I know they wore red jerseys. I was like, Stanford? I'm like, nah, it's got to be... I know it was another team that wore red uniforms. It was Wisconsin. Okay. Shane Trent says, you don't put yourself at the highest stage to lose in embarrassing fashion. Yeah. You know what? Every fan of every team needs to know that they're going to a year wanting to go to the Super Bowl. This for the Eagles is, I don't, that's the goal, obviously, but, this is a retool, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. I think you can contend by next year or the year after. I'd say another year or 2 years. I'd say like 2 years or maybe the latest 3 if that's the case. If they get their draft picks in order and really can make a nice, they could really get this team together. But I think what's really going to make this team either a success or a failure is the quarterback position this year and how Nick Sirianni uses these weapons and develops these players, as well as Jonathan Gannon on defense, and obviously Howie Roseman and what he does with this draft. These next 2 drafts. You think this draft is the start of how important it is? It's not even close. And then next year you have potentially 3 first-round picks. And I'm telling you right now, you can't flop on those. Joker Oblivion said, I wanted to work a trade with Watson and Carson. This was before his dirty laundry. And the problem is right now is he's got a big contract. Watson's got a big contract on his head right now. So I don't know how they would work that out if a trade was even going to happen. Okay, if the Eagles took on that money, you would have to ask Houston Texans to give you more draft picks to take that whole entire contract off their hands. Okay, like that would be the deal. Like if we were to take his whole contract, give us more draft picks if that's the case. Because I'll definitely do that. The more draft picks you have, the better and the more maneuvering you're gonna be. Oh, it's not a bad thing, but with the money on his head as well, that's where it's gonna be a little harder. King Rolex 276, man, he says, imagine a situation where Pitts fall out of the top 5, but the top QBs fall 2 and the Eagles trade up. I would start having a panic attack not knowing who they would pick. No, I would freak out. I mean, I would totally pick out. If I see a trade from 12 up, I'm going to be freaking out, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping it's for Pitts or it's for somebody. If you're moving up, you're getting Pitts or you're getting Jamar. Obviously, Jamar Chase as well of reach, obviously, but I think Pitts would be more of a. I think if you move up for Pitts, I think it would be more realistic. If he goes past out of the top 5, I think it'd be more realistic. Rich M. said, I wonder what would have happened if we traded Wentz instead of Foles. Obviously, like if it was after 2017 and we traded Wentz, this would be a totally different story. We would be getting draft picks, we'd be getting 2 first-round picks instantly. Christopher Gilpatrick, yes it did. Batmall says, I feel like the Eagles can be a 9-8 team considering the schedule. Mates, I dare that. Howie Roseman the draft. Quiddy pay at 12. No, you see him. I hope not, bro. I hope not. Jerry says, I see your super chat. I don't see his super chat. That's so weird. I'm sorry, Big T. Your super chat's not here, bro. Usually if it doesn't pop up on the top of the screen, like I look through the chat and I don't even see it, dude. I really apologize. I don't see it. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Honestly, I don't know why it does this for. Nathan with another super chat, man. Appreciate it, bro. He says, Ertz to Buffalo on draft night sounds convincing. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with that because we could see a tight end pick later in the draft. That trade is very convincing. I think it's fair for both sides because it really doesn't take Buffalo out of the first round too much. They go from 30 to 37, which isn't bad. They can still get a luxury pick. And then for the Philadelphia Eagles, you get to the 30th overall and could do some good things with it. And then a tight end later in the draft, maybe. I could maybe see it. Maybe we could draft Doug Peterson's son. I'm just kidding. No, we would definitely never get rid of Doug Peterson if that's the case. Joker Oblivious says, I don't care who we draft anymore. They just have to hit these picks with NFL quality starters. If Hurts isn't the answer, it's whatever. We just need to get these draft picks right. And like I said before earlier, Joker, I think we have to get this formula right on how they draft. The problem is we've had the same coaching staff since 2016. It's worked in the beginning. It resulted in a championship, and then kind of just Howie Roseman wanted to keep the same roster every single year. He didn't go after any fresh. With the coaching staff, even with Doug, Doug couldn't hire his own staff. Period. Couldn't do it. And I don't know if he was allowed to do it. I think at somewhat he was allowed, because if Jeffrey Lurie came into 2021 and Doug had a piece of paper saying, okay, I want to make Press Taylor the OC. I want to make Matt Burke the defensive coordinator, and I just want to move all these coaches around. I don't want to get any other players. That's why Doug had to get fired, because he doesn't know how to run an offense. Number two, he doesn't know how to use his offensive assistants the right way, which he tried to do. And number three, I think the relationship was just far off with the quarterback, with Carson Wentz, and whatever new plan that Doug had for this team going into 2021 just didn't work out at the end of the day. Just didn't work out. So, Bad Mall says we could definitely beat more than two teams, Jerry, because we will definitely be better than Raiders, Jets, and we could beat the teams in our division. I don't remember the whole schedule. Well, the actual schedule's not out yet, but we have the opponents, but the schedule's not out yet. I'm hoping by like the next couple of weeks we'll get it. Hopefully before the draft we'll get it. I think we usually get the schedule in April. It could be wrong. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't see Big T super chat. It must be glitched out or something, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, Big T. At ABC, anyone know what's going on with Deshaun Watson? Nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. I mean, obviously then what's going on with his stuff that's going on. There's nothing about trades. There's nothing about anything of sorts. So, Reaper Talon, 1 hour away. He's 29. Well, it is 12:08. So happy birthday to Reaper Talon 92. Happy birthday, bro. Everybody wish Reaper Talon a happy birthday. Jerry said the Giants are getting better than us. Washington is a quarterback away from being good, and Dallas is healing. Yeah, Jerry, you said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. The Giants are looking to contend. With what they've done in free agency. Washington is a quarterback away, which I do believe. I think they have a great defense, great offense. They have receivers. They have everything you want. And Dallas is just going to get better with Dak Prescott coming back. On top of it, one of the best receiving corps in the NFL, a great running back in Ezekiel Elliott. Defense is starting to get better. They're adding some new pieces and could add another piece to the defense during this draft. So, it is more highly than likely, definitely. Shane Trent says, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson. Why would you not fix your old depleted line for a younger one? I don't know. It's like Malik Jackson gets signed to a 3-year, $30 million deal, and then he gets hurt during the first game of the season in 2019. And then after that, you go in the next offseason and then sign another defensive tackle to huge money. Javon Hargrave, 4 years, $39 million. Crazy. It's just crazy. It's like he's like, I messed up this one. I'm just gonna do it again. I don't know. Fletcher Cox got hurt later in the season. Oh, he was out. I think he was out for a good amount of snaps. I forgot what game was the Cowboys, or I think they're the end of the season. Malik Jackson, Javon Hargrave got no pressure. I mean, absolutely none. Malik Jackson got so mad he went to Malik Jackson has these like splurts where he gets all mad. He goes to the sideline. He wasn't sitting with the defensive line. He was getting really angry at everybody. So I'm like, I'm not gonna. There's not even to deal with that. It's just crazy. Not even gonna deal with that. Torville said, if we draft Doug's son, then Lurie and Howie will want to meet with him on Tuesdays to ask him why he did or didn't do things. Every Tuesday they had a meeting. Every Tuesday they had a meeting, and I don't know what the meet. Obviously, Howie Roseman was picking on Doug about why didn't you win by more than 3 points? Why did you? You know what I mean? It's every week. Like that's what the guy's going to get. Like you can win a game and it's still not good enough. Like if that's true, that's horrible. Like to treat somebody like that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I really don't. I think Gonzalez says, new one, how about we select Brevett Jordan in the late third round? You could do that as well. And, I think there's a lot of options. I mean, if you're looking for depth, you're looking for a guy that you want to, third rounders, I'd say, are role players. Your first, second rounders should be on the field. Your third, fourth, fifth. The rest of your guys are pretty much role players. I mean, third to fifth round picks are your role players. Sixth to seventh round picks are guys that you're kind of taking a chance on to see if they'll pan out. So that's where you go right there. Bam also says we could split it with the Giants. Maybe the Cowboys will get swept by Washington unless we were great or something bad happens to them. Let me tell you something. Like, it's don't just look at our roster and say we're going to be a horrible team this year. I'm telling you right now, like, you don't know what Nick Sirianni has up his sleeve with the passing game coordinator from the Colts, the tight end coach from the Colts, Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator, and they have used quarterbacks and have been receiver coaches. Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator that came from the Chargers, he's good with quarterbacks. He's been a receiver coach and he's been a quarterback coach. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, this offense is going to change dramatically. Like, it's not going to look predictable like Doug's. It's going to look totally different. That's why you have to really give it a chance, guys. Like, you really have to give it a chance. Yo, David, what's going on, man? Doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Joker Oblivion, that would be the biggest troll ever if we drafted Dougie P's son. I said it because I thought of tight ends. I thought of Dougie P's son. I don't know. Eagle Slayer said this will make a good documentary about all this unraveling one day. We are getting swept by the Giants. We'll see what happens, dude. I think people look. See, this is what happens with fans. They look. People just look at other rosters. They're loaded. They went in free agency and spent all this money. But, guys, at the end of the day, like, even with the Giants, guys, like, it's either going to work out or it's, if you spend all that, like, with what the roster they have, they should be in the NFC Championship game with that roster they have. They should. With that roster, they should be in the NFC Championship game because, honestly, if they don't even make it even to that point, it's a waste of time. I don't think they will. It's really on Daniel Jones, and I don't know. The pressure is on Daniel Jones in New York, and I don't know. I know guys that would talk all this smack about Daniel Jones, and then as soon as they get all these weapons for him, they're praising him now, which makes no sense. Like, I don't think I just don't. I think his accuracy isn't good. I think he's been inconsistent with his throwing. I'm not a big fan of Daniel Jones. I'm not just saying it to be a biased Eagles fan. I just don't think much of Daniel Jones at the end of the day. Benny Cruz says, we need to get some good players with our picks. I'm tired of seeing all the annoying Giant fans on social. Yeah, well, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. I mean, they were aggressive in free agency. That's what they did. Nate says, I would not watch a single game with Press Taylor as OC. Doug really wasn't right after COVID when I heard that I projectile vomited. Joker says, who do you think wins our division? I think the football team has a real chance of doing it. I think the Cowboys could win, honestly. I think the Cowboys have a good shot. I think they do. Dak Prescott's coming back with a vengeance this year. I'm telling you right now, he's going to come back and he's going to play good. He's a good quarterback. As a non-biased Eagles fan, Dak Prescott is a good player. Always thought he was a good player. Okay, I think he deserves that contract. I think with Dak on the field, it changes the game 100% for that whole offense. So you got to look out for that as well. Caleb McHenry's 39 said, would you trade back into the end of the first for a guy like Marshall? Oh, 100%, man. Terrace Marshall, dude. If the Eagles get if they get cornerback in the first round, I'm asking them to go with Terrace Marshall, move back into the first round if they could. That's what I'm hoping for at the end of the day. Terrace Marshall, and if that's the case, Terrace Marshall's a good receiver. I mean, he'd be our number one receiver. I mean, he's great. He could catch any pass. He's lengthy. He's quick. Separation good at the top of his route. He's very athletic. I mean, he catches some acrobatic catches too. Like, he's really good. He's been around. Jefferson. He's been around. He's played with good quarterbacks. So I mean, he's done a good job for himself. Now, the only thing that makes him a difference from Jamar Chase is that Jamar Chase is obviously better, but his stats aren't as great. But he was that number 2 guy at LSU that you know, sometimes it's not all about those top 10 picks. Sometimes, guys, you're going to find those really good, productive receivers, you know, that are going to do good things, guys. Dave, I see big T super chat says Shake Squad to Vegas for Raiders Eagles game. Oh, I would love it, man. I would love it. I would love to go. I think you mentioned that before. I think you said it before. Or Big T said that before. My bad. My bad. Brian Tick says, I don't think the Eagles hit 500. I mean, I don't think it'll be that bad as everyone suspects it to be. I don't think so. Jerry might says, we are getting swept by the Giants, and the Cowboys will probably split Washington because they have no quarterback. Batmall says, I don't forget how bad Daniel Jones and Galladay can't save him if he, Marvin Jones, Stafford couldn't save the Lions. That's what I'm saying, man. That's why with Daniel Jones, like I still think he's serviceable, but I don't think he's like gonna take them to a Super Bowl. I don't see him taking the Giants to a Super Bowl at all, period. But that's just me though. There's 171 people in the chat, guys. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, you are new. Please, if you guys haven't, hit the subscribe button. Go over Eagles news all year round. We have a new podcast with Philly 500 every Saturday at 9 p.m. We'll be on my channel, actually his channel Saturday at 9, and then obviously every other week. If you guys haven't seen the links to support me, go down by the links. Go click the link for the podcast name for me and Philly 500. We have no podcast name. Go to that video and comment any podcast name. At the end of next Saturday, next week, we'll be picking a winner, and a winner will win a grand prize. So very exciting for that. If you guys haven't liked this video, hit the like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Support has been unreal from you guys, and it's been great, man. I've loved every. I mean, I'm back to streaming. I just got back to streaming like a couple weeks ago. And I've been enjoying it. It's really good to get back into live streaming. Very, very happy about it. Xavier says, we're drafting Horn and Marshall. Trust me. I really hope so. I really hope so. Jerry says, watch us draft Sam Ellinger at 12. I don't know who that is. Someone's got to tell me who that is. Eagles Slayer 95 says, even Brian Dawkins wanted out at some point. I heard what was it, I think the year after the Super Bowl, I think at the end of the Super Bowl he was like working with the secondary, but I think the year after he was with the secondary, I think in 2018, I heard there was rumors about he left because of the way they did things, or I don't know what I read about it. I forgot what it said, quote unquote, but I heard there were some bad things going around as well. So we got a super chat from Rylan Yancey. He says, Joey, I'm so happy you're back on the street, brother. It's great having you back. Fly, Eagles, fly. Rylan, appreciate you with the super chat, man. Much appreciated. And honestly, man, like, I'm happy. I really am. And I'm happy that it makes you happy that I'm back. So I think it's great on both sides. We're going to get this thing going. Plus, we got the podcast going with Philly 500. I'm very excited about that. Now, shout out to Philly 500 and what's been going on with him. If you guys did not hear, I'm not going to say it, but there's been some things going on with him as well. So, hey, I appreciate it. Appreciate the support you've given him and given me, and really making our streams more special. And you know, it's been really cool interacting with everybody. So, Rylan, man, love you, bro. Love you, man. Eagle Slayer with Super Chat says, B-Pal. B-Pal. Oh, BPA. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Eagle Slayer 95 is another loyalist to the channel as well. Another loyalist subscriber, man. Been around a while. Inferno Productions with the Super Chat says, just about to close the store. Been working since 10 a.m. Ready to hit the sack anytime now. Well, dude, go home and get some rest. Don't let the Eagles keep you up at night. Don't let the stream keep you up at night either. I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate coming in today. Really, I do. Much appreciated. Let's see here. And I'm going to go back up. I'm going to go back up. Oh, there's Big T. Hold on. I see it. It just popped up. Big T Super Chat just popped up. There it is. Big T, thank you, man. Shake Squad to Vegas for Birds Raiders this season. Would love to do it. Sorry, dude, this wasn't here. I went all the way up. I did not see it, and I could see them easily. Didn't happen. So, Big T, thank you for the super chat, my friend. So, guys, at the end of the day, don't give up on this team. Hold on. Yeah, I know. I read it the way it said it. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what happened. Marcus Abney, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro? Jeff Murphy says, always interested, and you don't have to say, but what do you do for work? You are very intelligent, just wondering. I'm actually a supervisor for a company, a sanitation company, so that's what I do. I worked at the supermarket for a long time. I used to be I worked at the supermarket for like 10 years, and then I ended up quitting because I had enough. I was done. I was waiting to get promoted to be a manager for 3 years. They never promoted me. It was just really bad. I was really upset over it, and I ended up quitting. The hardest thing I had to do was quit a job after being there 10 years, leaving the people that I love to work with, and yeah, it was horrible. But obviously, if you watch my videos back like a long time ago, I was doing videos when I worked overnight, pretty much packing out product for the store and stuff. You guys remember that? It was a long time ago. Eagles champ, what's going on, bro? He says, yo, Joey, did you see the mock Christian Belmore from Bama deal to the Eagles? Rumors teams are high up on him. Do you think Howie Roseman would you know? I have no idea about it. I have no idea. No idea. So would have to. I've been going on YouTube. I've been looking at. I like from time to time. I go look at mocks on the internet. I'll look at mocks on YouTube that were more recent, obviously from the past couple of days. But I haven't seen any news on that. But you probably know better than I do. Eagle said, "Put some respect on my name." I'm not seeing these other super chats either. I got 2 more super chats. Hold on. Jeremiah just says, which college did you play football at? I played at Utica College, which was a school in upstate New York. It was owned by Syracuse. It was, I think it's a D3 school now. I haven't obviously played there in a long time. So it was a D2 school. It was actually owned by Syracuse. I used to go to the Syracuse games for free, the Syracuse football games. For free. So I played defensive tackle, defensive end. I switched back and forth. I played at Utica for a few years, and that was really it. So another super chat from Jerry. Sam Ehlinger is the Texas Longhorns quarterback. Okay, so I have no idea then, because I guess that's why I don't know. I don't blame you. I read like I read like that sometimes too. Yeah, I'm collaborative, so you gotta work with me. I just got that problem. Corey Kenshin says, I think we could definitely go over 500 if we hit in the draft. Corey Kenshin, I love Corey Kenshin, by the way. Corey Kenshin, YouTuber, love him. Such a good guy. Brian Staransky says, Eagles will win the East next season. Hurts for 4,500 yards passing, and Sanders will rush for 1,200. Defense will rank in the top 10. I love how you're thinking, Brian. I really do. Oh man, if Hurts went off like that, I'm telling you, how happy would you be? And guys, just remember, do not buy jerseys. I mean, I'm telling you right now, do not go and buy an Eagles jersey. Don't do any of that because you're wasting your money. Do like I did. Buy a jersey with your last name on it. Okay, and just wear it all year because right now it is probably one of the worst times to buy an Eagles jersey. Do not do it. Don't be tempted to do it. I know it's hard not to spend $100, but just try it. Joker's obliviated. We just need to get out and compete. We just need to make it competitive and look promising. That's all I ask for. Just play hard and improve. I think that's all we have to do, man. Like that's why like these fans are like, oh, it's a done season. We're not going to do anything this year. Like you just don't know what we're going to do this year. Like all people do is look at the NFCs. They say all these teams are loaded, but the Eagles have so much promising prospects that haven't been developed right and have so much more ceiling that they just tapped into. The surface that they've tapped into with their skill set has happened for a short time last year. And what Nick Sirianni could do is take those players and really, with a full offseason, which is perfect, guys, that we really need badly, you take that and you could find something. You find your building block pieces for the future. That's what we're looking for in 2021. I would love to win a Super Bowl this year. Is it realistic? Probably not, but I just want to see this team go into the right direction, win some football games, go into the right direction, make it look promising, especially and really at the end of the day, it starts with our quarterback. Okay, our quarterback is the most important thing that we need to look at this year and put into talks. Okay, we need to see what Jalen Hurts can do in 2021. Happy says the NFCs can't go on to any. The NFCs can't go to any team as always. Hoping we can hit these next to drafts and blow out for years to come. And that's where it matters. Jason Nelson, I saw Eagles were talking about interviewing a DL from the Houston. I forgot his name. I have no idea. I got to check that out. I have no idea. I have more videos coming out tomorrow, guys. Probably like. I'm trying to get 3 videos out tomorrow, so probably another 2 tomorrow. I wanted to do a stream today. I didn't make any videos today, so I just did a stream tonight, obviously, just kind of make up for not doing anything today. Eagles Champ said it was IG guy from Network Bacchus 12, and I want Devontae Smith, Flawless Fly, Hurt season, let's go. I'm down with it, bro. Let's get Devontae Smith. I don't mind. Let's get Devontae Smith with the 12th pick, and let's go with Jalen Hurts. Telling you, it's gonna be fantastic to watch. Jason Nelson says Houston College. Happy says any team could win the NFC East, hoping we can hit big on the next 2 drafts and the Eagles blow out for years to come. Definite. Joseph Bryan, not happening with Howie. Nathan says, I live in Syracuse, Joey. That's actually crazy. Oh, that's nuts, bro. Yeah, I went to school over in Utica, bro. I loved it over there. I actually like upstate New York. I don't mind it. It's farmland, but it's I like it. Jeff Murray said, I played for Temple, so that's why I'm asshole loves the Eagles. I definitely, definitely. That's awesome, dude. Happy, I'm pretty sure Sam is projected to go to get in the draft. He's super late, but how I might steal him at pick 12, please no. Matt Week says Daniel Jones ain't that good in my eyes. I feel like this year could be his last year with the Giants if he screws up really bad this year. I think just like I think Lamar Jackson holds back Baltimore. Look, I don't like Lamar Jackson. I'm like one of the biggest haters of Lamar Jackson. I think he's just one of them players that really holds them back because of his non-consistent being in the pocket. I don't know. I'm just one of those guys that's just not. I think the Baltimore has a fantastic team. It's just that I think their quarterback is just not the right quarterback for them, and that's just me. Eagles champ said, I buy jersey if it's Devontae Smith. Hey, damn, that's definite. Torville said, I can see our defense top 10 list. We had several quality starters in the draft. Our defense has a lot of issues. I think all we're looking at is what is I'm excited for Anthony Harris. It's a 1-year deal, but I'm excited for him to play. Okay, Kevon Wallace needs to step up for Rodney McLeod being out. We need to see what he gets out of that. Linebacker, huge competition. We can add more to it during the draft. I'd say get another edge rusher in this draft as well. Okay, and then you got to find out which corner are you taking. I think you're going to get a cornerback in this draft, whether it's at 12 or late in the first round, move up in the first round, or take one in the second. So it should be interesting. It should be really interesting. Flygos Fly, 4L, what's going on, man? Jerry says Daniel Jones could have a Josh Allen type season if he fixes his mechanics. Well, that's a problem. His mechanics and his consistent pocket, being in the pocket, throwing in the pocket. So Eagles say so. Not only bypass Eagles players' jerseys, no one currently playing. Our curses learned that the hard way. Trust me. Sylvan Son of the Living God said I bought a Carson jersey last year and I feel like I got a pie in my face. I didn't buy a Carson jersey. I bought an Alshon Jeffrey jersey the year after we won the Super Bowl. I think the year after. Victor Gennaro says, when I watch my team, I'm rooting for us to win each and every time. Tanner the Grace, I think will for sure have a better year than the last. 100%. If you don't think we're gonna have a better year, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're just negative all the time. Then I don't know. Then that person is just negative. I mean, if you can't have any worse year than that. I mean, that was bad. Eric R, we could win a division or get a top pick. Both are possible. I think they are too. I think you got good picks this year, and then next year you have even better picks going up. So Jeremiah said linemen are most important players. Oh, definitely. Like those trenches have to be good. Like I don't care about getting weapons. Like if you're not, I think offensive line wise, if they can stay healthy and not make 14 changes, I think you could do a lot more. But that's just me though. We got a super chat from Dennis Watson. Appreciate the super chat, bro. He says, "What do you think the offense will look like, as far as identity or your ideas?" By the way, I'm from the Bronx, but I live in North Philly now. Awesome, bro, Dennis. Honestly, with this offense, I think they're gonna do some wide receiver screens, these little short bursts with these receivers, using these little fast players that have the speed to their advantage in this system, like they did with the Colts. I think you're gonna run these. You're gonna run these running backs east and west, north and south. You're gonna use these running backs in the pass game. You're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of play action as well. I don't know what they're gonna use. Jalen Hurts is a different quarterback. He likes playing out of the RPO format. So I don't know what they're doing with him. I think they could do a lot of things, but what I do like about Nick Sirianni, he knows the strength and weaknesses. When he was talking about his Colts offense, when they were showing videos of that, he knew every player to what their strengths and weaknesses were. He knew what players are good at what on the field. He's good with matchups. He's good with scheming against defenses. He knows what he's doing. He does. The more he talks, the more I believe. And the more excited I get for this team. So, Dennis, there's nothing to worry about, man. I think everyone's going to be involved in this offense, not just 1 to 2 guys. I think you're going to have a lot of moving parts in this offense, a lot of screens, a lot of different things. You're gonna, and he loves tight ends. He loves getting those tight ends open. So Dallas Goedert, have a good season this year, bro. Brand Pyatt, what's going on, man? All right, man. I'll see you later, bro. Peace out. Jameis Wilson, the year before they retired my Jenkins jersey. Oh, Jenkins is a good jersey to have. I'd buy his jersey now. Why not? Jenkins was, oh my God, he kept our defense together. That's another thing about this team. Like, we don't even have who's going to be the next voice of this defense? I mean, if you got a guy like Jock or Micah Parsons, there you go. Those are your tone-setting voices, not only on the field, but off the field as well. I'm telling you. Our offense has to be better this year. Last year, it looked like it was constipated by bad play calling and injuries. Well, that's every year. That's how it's been every single year. But last year was the worst year. Jeremiah says the Patriots, Cowboys, 49ers were dynasties because they put focus into their lines. Oh yeah, like they pretty much made a wall. Like what the game I really liked the most that we took advantage of, Green Bay in 2019. We put up a wall. I think the 49ers and Bills games were really good. We literally just used a wall with our offensive line and just ran down their throat. And then, mixed a little bit of the passing game. But I like using it. And that's what Dallas did with Romo as well. They'd plug in any running back behind the line and just run north and south. And that's it. Put all your money and put all your resources and draft picks into your offensive line and just run down everyone's throat. You know what I mean? Opens up the pass game as well. I think that was a really good thing they did. And the Eagles did that twice. Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers. 2 really good games. James Wilson says, our owner won't run the ball. It's not our owner. It's Doug. It was Doug that didn't allow... I mean, it didn't help Carson Wentz at all. Like, there was games where Miles didn't even have 5 carries. I mean, it was that bad, guys. Like, I was so mad because Miles Sanders could have had a 1,000-yard season last year. And I'm seeing videos of him that he could be a potential bust. I'm seeing videos like, potential running backs that could become bust. And I think top 10. And I think Miles Sanders like the 5th-ranked running back that could be a potential bust. And my eyes just widened up, and I just flipped out. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that happens. Eagles champ. We going to see similar situation. 2016 rookie coach will have rookie mistakes. Also, Jordan Bellata. Can't wait to see him play. Thank God, no more injury prone. Crybaby Jason. Never been Pro Bowler. Yeah, no, I'm not saying everything's gonna go perfect, but it's not gonna look horrible either. Like I think Nick will bring. I think as the games go on, and I think obviously the offseason is going to help that with between the coach and what he has in his players, getting his 53-man roster together is where it's going to count the most. And then you're going to start to see this. You're going to start to see this roster change, and you're going to see the good things out of it. So I'm excited to see preseason this year. I'm excited to do all that. I'm excited to see all that. So it's not too bad. Hold on. Master P. Dennis Watson, North Philly native right here. Welcome to the neighborhood. Appreciate it, bro. Master P. What's going on? You guys haven't subscribed to Master P. Another Eagles content creator as well. Like what he does, man. Much love to Master P. 16 Peters. Shane Trent says, disgrace Rizzo. I would think they would go Ritter from Cincinnati. Jeff Murray says, if we get a big third down wide receiver or bruiser back and our O-line stays healthy, watch our offense can compete. I'm telling you, when you have, like, I love using bruisers. That's why I was questioning, Jordan Howard was a free agent. We had Elijah Holyfield on the roster. Didn't know what they were going to do, but because they signed Jordan Howard, what does it mean? It means that he's going to prove himself in 2021 in a better system with none of a huge mess that Doug and his offense have brought upon this team, obviously with the play calling and how they use players every single game, because it just seems like they don't even know how to do that at times. We're gonna see, man. I'm excited. Even in 2019 when Jordan Howard got more snaps than Miles Sanders because it was Miles Sanders' rookie year. They barely put him in. Then when Jordan Howard, kind of lessened the snaps on him, Miles Sanders came in, did some really good things. Jordan Howard could be a nice finisher. Like you can use him. Once Jordan Howard gets to that second level, he adds another 5 to 7 yards upon contact on top of it. So Jordan Howard could tie up really tired defensive lines. You add in you sprinkle some Miles Sanders in there. You put some Jordan Howard up the middle, and I'm telling you, you could pass the ball. The pass rush won't be great because you're tiring out that defensive line trying to tackle these running backs. So you could do a lot of good things with these running backs. Boston Scott as well. I want Boston Scott. I don't know what Doug was doing with Boston Scott. I mean, he was running him up the middle like he was a bruiser back. I don't know why. Like, I understand, you could do that with him, but he did it every single time. They didn't throw to him in open space. They didn't run him outside. They ran him more inside than outside. So I don't know what this coaching staff was doing last year with some of these players. Sorry, my throat. I had to scratch my throat. Jason R., I need to see Allen Robinson, Devontae Smith trade one of this year's third, maybe one 2022's first for Robinson. That really depends. That really depends what they're doing. That depends if Rager really works out. If they see that he's not doing anything into his second year, and he, like someone said earlier, he had 400 yards this year, which isn't bad for what he played in a really bad team, which was a whole entire mess. So there's a lot that really goes into it. James Wilson says it's signed. James Wilson says thanks for the shout out. So Eagle Star 95 says Jenkins leaving was a gut punch. Yeah, it was hard. I was at work when that happened, and I wasn't happy about it. It kind of ripped my heart out of my chest. Like, I have emotions for him, but man, like on game day, you didn't worry about this defense. Like, Malcolm Jenkins glued this defense together. Like, you didn't worry about it. You didn't worry about it too much. Sorry, my throat is just killing me right now. Brian Sturansky says, what about the Eagles drafting Waddle and Marshall as back-to-back picks? I don't mind Waddle and drafting. Two wide receivers? I'm not sure about that, bro. I'm not sure about that. I see corner, wide receiver, corner. I don't see that at all. I see they're drafting one guy, and I think that's it. I really wouldn't be happy with it because they need to hit some other positions. They can't just go and draft two receivers. He looks like Kevon Wallace. I was going to buy his jersey. I'm starting to think about he's going to be a monster. I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he can match his talk with his play. I'm telling you right now. I'm hoping he does. Richie Laird, Joe, do you know why we get injured so much? it's because of how they use whatever nourishment plan that they're on, whatever they're using to recover their bodies from games. I mean, it can really be anything at this point. I don't know what else it could really be. I mean, they've hired more training staff, new training staff the past 3 seasons. They do it again this year, be the 4th season they do it. So a lot going for that. King Relic says 276 says have 2 Wentz jerseys. Oh boy, I'm gonna just get a throwback jersey for the Eagles Legends to be safe. Oh man, that's crazy, man. I'm sorry you've wasted money on both of those jerseys. Eagles, yeah, I'm not a fan of both Marshall Wild, Devonta Smith, and I'm gonna take up either cornerback or linebacker. I can agree. I like Waddle, but I like Marshall. I mean, I like Devonta. If they draft Devonta Smith, I'm down with that, and they obviously go in the 2nd round and go get a cornerback. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? James Wilson says, true that. Joey. Jimmer said, by the way, I'm an East Coast. Joey and Philly 500 are the only way I'm staying up this late when I work 6 a.m. in the ER in a major city. Truth, man. Well, dude, appreciate what you do, man. Really, like, those jobs must be, I mean, you're probably used to it by now, but I can't imagine, like, working a shift like that. But, man, appreciate what you do and everything, dude. But I appreciate support, and me and Philly 500, we don't really do late streams. I mean, we're doing it at 9, so I guess it's considered late, but it's 6 o'clock his time, you know what I mean? So early for him, late for me, and actually works because we're opposite time zones, so it works better for us. There's 164 people in the chat, guys. If you guys have not, it's you're still rolling with me. It's almost 1 in the morning in the East Coast, and you're still rolling with me right now. You guys haven't subscribed to the channel, join the Shake Squad RB, enjoy the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you guys haven't, if you're a newbie, go over Eagles news all year round. If you guys haven't hit that like button either before you leave today, hit the like button. It really does help the channel out a lot, guys. The support has been unreal. The links in the description below to support me fully or more. And on top of everything else, me and Philly 500 have the podcast every Saturday at 9 Eastern. If you guys want to give a name for our podcast, want to win the grand prize by next Saturday, go to the link below and just put any names you can put 1 million names, 10 million names. It doesn't matter how many names you put. And if you are the winner, you will receive a grand prize from me and Philly 500 before the draft. So, yeah, very excited about that, guys. Very excited. We've been going over 2 hours, 2 hours 11 minutes, guys. I didn't think anyone was really going to show up today, but I appreciate everybody being here today. It's been a lot of fun. Nathan says, do you think Jason Pierce playing all those unnecessary years hurt his legacy at all? I still think he's unquestionably a Hall of Fame tackle, but he's tarnished. No, I don't think he's tarnished himself. No, I don't think so. It's not like we've seen him get flat out. He's been beat. I mean, the defensive ends are changing in this league now, so he's not going to hold up at left tackle. I don't think he's going to hold up back. He's probably better off playing guard, but I'm hoping that we don't. I mean, I'm glad I haven't seen it yet, so it's been nice, and I hope we don't bring him back. And I don't think we will, but I just hope we don't bring him back. John Nelson, Shanahan also loves to run it down their throat. It all starts there. Build your interiors, defense, and offense. I think Howie Roseman likes building the trenches. Obviously, he likes spending money. He likes paying offensive linemen have been getting paid the past few years. Brandon Brooks comes back. Lane Johnson comes back. These guys have stayed. Lane Johnson looks like he's in really good shape. He's been doing some crazy workouts. So it's really nice to see. Torville said, I like Miles, but he gets dinged up too easily. I mean, that's definitely true. Luis Cabrera says, what's good, man? How you doing, Luis? Eric R. said, I'm excited about wide receiver and running back. I am too, 100%. Jason R. said, would be nice to see Allen Robinson. Oh, yeah, I think I already read that before. Eagles Champ said, if we get Najee Harris, I ain't going to lie. I'm going to run in my underwear outside. Jeff said, how can I see more Philly content providers? I just love this. More Philly content providers? How can I see more? I mean, there's a bunch of people, man. There's a bunch of guys you could go watch. Dennis Watts said, Master P. Thank you, bro. I'm in the Strawberry Mansion area. Eagle Slayer said, I like Miles, but this is put up or shut up for him. Same with Rager and whoever else is talking. Yeah, I know. By the way, guys, I've been getting messages, a lot of messages on Twitter and if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter right now, go to Twitter, go to Joey Shake 72 on Twitter, follow me there. Obviously, links in the description for my Twitter as well. If you guys want to follow me on there, I tweet out some stuff. I'm a big horror movie buff as well, so I always put out football news, or I put out every time a video comes out, I let you know on Twitter. This way, you find out. If you don't hit that notification bell as well, if you guys haven't, I really don't even tell people to do it because I look at my analytics of people that touch the bell, and a lot of people have the notification bell on. So it's nice to see that people do that. Because I really don't ask people to do that whatsoever. But people have been asking me on Twitter, why don't you play Madden? I said, I don't know, because I just don't. I'm not a big Madden fan. I don't think it's worth $60 just for changed rosters. I think it's just a reproduced piece of what. And I would play it, but do I want to pay $60? Not really. I said to pretty much people, if I was super chatted, at least $50, I would go get it. Like, I just don't want to waste my money on it. Unless somebody wants to pay for it for me, that's a different story. But honestly, unless it gets cheap, those games don't really go cheap for a while. But if someone super chatted me that much for that game and said, hey, this is for Madden, I'd get it. I'd promise, on my word, I would get it, and then I would start streaming Madden and get my butt kicked every single time I play it, and it would be fun. But to pay $60 for that is just ridiculous. That's just me. But I don't know. People have been asking me, "Why don't you play Madden? You have a football channel, but you don't play Madden." I don't get it. I'm like, well, because I don't want to buy it. Like, if I got the game for free, if one of my friends, a family member bought it for me, I would just buy it. But I just don't put money into it, to be honest. Hold on. Eagles Champ says, pound the like button. Joey Shake 72, you, Tom Arnold would be great together. Who's Tom? I don't know who that is. Who's Tom Arnold? Jerry number 70. I have no idea what that is. Tigo Taylor says, nephew, what makes you so sure of the new coach, or is it a gut feeling? I just think because when Doug talks about this offense, it's very vague and it's very bold, and it's too PR-ish. Like, he says sophisticated words that are supposed to make me think that this offense is going to be well. When Nick Sirianni talks about, watch that video on PhiladelphiaEagles.com about, he talking about that Colts offense and all these players and just talking about all these routes, and just he goes in so much depth with what these players do and how these routes are running, and just he knows all the strengths and weaknesses of every individual player and knows how to use them in the offense. And he's just so in detailed with it, I can't turn my head around. I can't turn my head around and be like, I can't be excited. Like, I'm excited about this guy. He makes me want to run through a wall. He does. Like, I understand he's not he may seem like a nice guy on the outside, but I'm telling you right now, he wants nothing but perfection. Because 2019, I remember there was a tweet from one of the Colts beat writers. He was yelling at a player for not knowing the playbook. I mean, he yelled at a player. He cursed at a player for not knowing the playbook. That's how bad it was. That's how, if you don't do it perfect for Sirianni, he's going to lay it on you. Like, he's nice on the outside, but I'm telling you right now, forget it. You're going to be impressed with Sirianni as a coach and his personality as a very focused, driven coach at the end of the day. Okay. Aya Gonzalez says, do you think Miles Sanders has a lot to prove this upcoming season? Yeah, but I thought he had plenty to prove last year, and I think, he did as much as he could when he had his chance, but Doug didn't run him sometimes 5 snaps during the game. Like, he would have had 1,000 yards. I mean, that's the way it goes, man. It was horrible. Jason, I like Howard when he was on the Bears before we traded him. He was good combo with Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen did everything for the Bears, okay? And Jordan Howard was that finisher. They stopped passing the ball to Howard because he had a dropping problem. He kept dropping the ball. There's no reason to not like him now. Why? Why is there no reason to like him? Because Miami signed him to a big deal and he wasn't used the right way? He wasn't used the right way. At the end of the day, he wasn't. So, I mean, I wouldn't say you should dislike him because why? I don't know what makes him different. He's 26 years old. He had he had some snaps with Miami last year, had a couple touchdowns, but I mean, they just stopped using him. They just didn't. I don't know what they did. They just stopped. I don't think he's washed up or anything. Plus, he's got a lot in the tank because I don't know why even we're talking about a tank in general because he's still a young player. He's not old, and he hasn't lost anything. I think he's a great player. We have a super chat from Dennis Watson. It says currently on the roster, who's the breakout player for offense and defense, and why do you pick them? Offensively, I think Miles Sanders will be, because I don't know this wide receiver core and what they're doing with this receiver core, who's going to be our starting guys next year. Obviously, Rager's going to be there. I don't know if they're going to change the slot with Greg Ward and make Greg Ward a depth guy. And just, I think, obviously people think we could get better in the slot and much quicker in the slot. Miles Sanders on offense, okay? And I'm looking for Josh Sweat to have a breakout year this year on defense. He deserves to have a breakout year. He's more of a he's not a non-rotational guy. I think he's fantastic. I think he plays worse in a rotation. I think he actually plays worse when he shouldn't be. I think when you keep feeding him more snaps and the hotter he gets, the longer that Josh Sweat stays on the field, the more that things happen. He takes the ball away from players. He strips the ball from quarterbacks. I mean, he does everything. You know what I mean? I think those are your two. Miles Sanders on offense, and I think Josh Sweat on defense. Josh Sweat, I want him to get like at least 6 to 8 sacks. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm looking for this year. At least 6 to 8 sacks. Show something, you know what I mean? So it really doesn't hurt to see that. Eagle Slayer 95 says, yeah, dude reminds me of McVay. Yeah, I would say like McVay. In some sort of way, yeah. I'd say it's definitely, you could definitely put it together. It would probably, Torville said, it would probably be better to be cursed at Sirianni versus having him answer a couple of your questions when you're in a hurry. Torville says, I don't know if Howard's the same guy. He had an injury with us, and he was just always week to week and missed like 2 months. A stinger injury is like something you can't mess with. It's a neck injury that you really can't mess with. You really can't, because the neck is the thing where teams kind of back away from putting a player in, unfortunately. But he's 100% healthy now, and he's ready to prove himself. Okay, he had no interest at all. I don't know why. He had no interest, because I don't think all of it was his fault. I think he was used the wrong way in Miami. Miami hasn't been great with running backs. Miami hasn't done good with running backs. Jay Ajayi, Kenyon Drake, and then you take Jordan Howard and whoever else that's been there. I don't think it's been good with running backs. Okay? Jay Ajayi in 2017 was in a last-ranked offense with the Miami Dolphins before we traded for him for a fourth-round pick. Okay? You could take a few examples like that. Like, always disgruntled, didn't like the head coach. Head coach didn't like him. Threw a Jay Ajayi, threw Jay Ajayi. Adam Gase threw Jay Ajayi under the bus at press conferences. It was just horrible. Horrible thing. I'm not saying the same thing's happened to Jordan Howard, but you could probably take both of them and kind of put them together. DJ Shadowzone says, Howard is only 26. That's what I'm saying. Jake Van against the offensive, I think hurts defensively. I think probably Davion Taylor or Wallace. Hey, look, man, Davion Taylor, and I'm gonna have a video out tomorrow on, Davion Taylor and some other guys. I'm gonna have some more news on some of these other guys. And an uphill battle, definitely, an uphill battle for this linebacker core. So, hold on. Okay, I just want to update that real quick. We're going to go for another 5 minutes, guys. We're just going to go for another 5 minutes, guys. Guys haven't subscribed, like the video, like the stream, please. Do appreciate it. Much appreciated. You guys are, it's almost 1 in the morning. You guys are up here, and we're just talking Eagles. I love these streams. I think they're awesome. I think they're great. Jeff Murphy, Rigger would be great when coupled with Marshall. Agree? Oh, 100%. I think it opens the whole offense when Marshall shows up. I think you open the whole offense. I think you just make everyone better. I think it opens up so much more for everybody else. Oh, agree 100%. It was sure Watkins and Singleton will take the next step. I think dude is like that. Hey, Watkins is great too. Watkins is another player that outran that defense with that 33-yard screen against the Cardinals. Fantastic. And Alex Singleton is just that gem that we. Why is it when we have a bad season we always find those gems? Like you found, Greg Ward was that gem in 2019, catching that ball in the end zone against the Washington. You always find those gems at the end of the year that play so well. Then you find Travis. You find 2 gems this year. You try, or maybe more than that. You find Watkins as well. Travis Fulgham, Quez Watkins. You find these little tiny slivers of hope that maybe have something. You know what I mean? I think Quez is going to be a great player. I want to see these receivers play. I want to see these receivers in preseason. I can't wait. Can't wait. Shane Trent says Joe Horn, 10 years of jail is defrauding NFL healthcare. Joe Horn at cut after 1 preseason game. See the pattern. Stay away from JC Horn. I was like, it sounds like that name, and then you mentioned. I was like, of course. Nathan says thoughts on Urban Meyer. I think the Jags are going to be a good team. I'm not saying off the bat, but I think Urban Meyer wouldn't have been with the Jags unless they didn't have that first overall pick. I think that first overall pick definitely helped him become the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think getting Lawrence is a perfect fit, and I think they have nice building block pieces. They have cap space, and they could do a lot. I think they have a nice building block piece in Trevor Lawrence to get this offense going with Jacksonville. I think they're going to be a good team. But I think Urban Meyer is he's not a predictable coach. Like he'll surprise you with some things. He's got a big voice, and I think it's going to work out over there for him. King Cole said, I think we draft cornerbacks in our first. We need cornerbacks bad. Who do you think starts opposite of Slay? I'm hoping whoever we draft starts opposite of Slay. I don't know if they're going to sign a veteran cornerback right now. You had TJ Carey. Steven Nelson is still out there right now. People are telling me Steven Nelson got signed. I don't think he did. But Steven Nelson is the best coverage corner still on the market right now. You have that ex-Raiders first-round pick. Garyon Conley is another corner that's still out there. Was pretty much a failed first-round pick that really didn't do nothing. But honestly, Jonathan Gannon develops corners really well because before he became the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, he was a corner coach for the Colts. And look what he did with Xavier Rhodes' career. He did a fantastic job. Xavier Rhodes got his big contract with the Vikings, played horrible for a couple years, went to the Colts on a 1-year deal and really ripped it. Revived his career, and then he actually just re-signed on a 1-year deal again with the Colts as well. So Xavier Rhodes, he's 30. He's like 31 years old, and he played good at 30 last year. So did a really good job. Brian Staransky says, breakout player on offense will be Hurts, defense will be Singleton. I like that combo. Definitely. Jake Verner says, I really want Surtain or Horn with the 12th pick if Smith isn't there. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Lucio Hinoja says, if Fields falls past 7 or 8, y'all will be nervous. They're not, dude. They're not picking a quarterback in the first round, bro. They're not. It's not happening. I don't know why you always mention about, and you specifically have been mentioning a quarterback. It's not going to happen because there's going to be some trade up partners that the Patriots are going to trade up. They're definitely going to trade up somewhere to go get a quarterback. They've been looking at Fields, Mac Jones. Mac Jones had a horrible pro day, by the way, but. He had a horrible. Did you see Mac Jones' pro day? He overthrew like every damn pass. That's how bad it was. Turtle says Marshall would give us a dimension of size. Most of our receivers are smaller, except J.J.R. runs a 4.4 with the combined, but runs about 5.4 on the field. Philly Leo says, is McLaurin a free agent? I wish he was, but he's not. I don't think so. James Wilson says, is J.J. still on the roster? Yes, he is. Bryce Tereski, if the Eagles make a deal with Atlanta at 4, with Carolina at 8, there are reports that Eagles are interested in getting back to the top 10. I think he doesn't have to, dude. He could. If the Eagles go up to 4, I'm telling you. If the Eagles go up to 4, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts. If they go up to 8 or 9, they might do the same thing. They might try to go. They might. If Pitts kind of slides past 5, I think the Eagles jump on it and try to make something happen. So I think that's what happens. Got a super chat from Dennis Watson. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Says Trevor said he's now worried about now worried about competing. He's not worried about championship. That's the news that was said. He's now worried about competing. Oh, I think, as a quarterback, you want to compete before you're looking ahead, but I don't know. I mean, I'm actually kind of interested to see how he does as a quarterback in the NFL. I want to see between Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence who's the better quarterback. I understand you're going to say Trevor Lawrence, but I'm interested to see what Zach Wilson does this year. Especially he's going to be a New York Jet. Obviously, he's going to be a New York Jet. So it's crazy. The reports came out that Atlanta. Who was it? Atlanta or I forgot who was traded. Someone was paying the. Who's got the? I forgot who it was. Someone was offered earlier in the season a Sam Darnold trade, a top 15 pick, and the Jets didn't jump on it. That's what I saw. But David Matt Perez says Jalen Hurts will get points. Eagles need to stop other teams from scoring. Definitely. James Wilson says let's not bring him back. Just saying. Trevor Lawrence is not good. Some people think he's going to be a bust. I don't watch Clemson, so I don't know. You guys probably know better than I do on him. Mac Jones is better than Zach Wilson. Really? Forbidden games. So we have pretty light schedule this upcoming season. We only have to face 4 playoff teams. Our toughest game is without a doubt is the Chiefs record 10-7 and the Bucks. We got to face the Bucks as well. I think both games are at home too. I think both games are at home. Torvo says, I can't see the Eagles moving back to 4 because it would mean they would basically undo the trade to get the first rounder next year. It would defy the whole point of the trade to begin with. Probably. I don't think, like I said, to trade the 4 would be probably unrealistic. To trade to 8 or 9, you'd give up maybe a third-round pick, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a mid-round pick on top of it. Eagles have some extra picks this year. 8 or 9, 7 to 9 would probably be more realistic than 4. You're going to give up you're definitely going to swap first-round picks and then some. So we'll see what happens. Brian Saransky says Marshall and Chase ran the same times. LSU Pro Day 4.38. Jake Verenson, we somehow have the easiest schedule in the league. Yeah, I don't know why. They said that on TV, and I was like, huh? What? What is that about? I have no idea. Philly Leo, are the fans going to boo Carson Wentz when we play? Unfortunately, it's going to be in Indianapolis. It's not going to be. It's not going to be home. If it was home, it would happen. He would get booed. Nelson PNK Floyd says, I'm thinking JC Horn to pick at 12. Same thing, bro. Lucio said, if y'all end up with Pitts, it would be a win, period. Oh, 100%, man. I don't think if it's Pitts, if it's Devontae Smith, I think it's still a win regardless. It's not just Pitts in general. I'm not focused on one player we're drafting, and if we don't get him, I'm not gonna like any other pick. I think if they drafted Devontae Smith at 12, or they moved up for him, if they felt like moving up for, Kyle Pitts, I mean, then hey, I think it's a win for the Eagles. I think it's a very, very valued pick. That's definitely. Hopefully, Leo. C. Hayes says, get J.C. Horn at 12 and trade back, get up Jock or Zevin Collins, go defense this draft, primary next year, offensive. Yeah, and to see what Jalen Hurts does this year, if they feel comfortable with him, and they're like, oh, if he just plays fantastic this year, then you don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback. But and I hope they don't go the dumb route next year. If Jalen Hurts plays bad, I really hope they don't just go with some veteran quarterback that's just washed up in the league, they decide to keep Joe Flacco as a starting quarterback or something. I don't want to be that team that has a veteran quarterback here that can't do nothing. I really don't at this point. Jemmer said, we'll stay at 12 and move up late in the first. I think realistically we will do that, but there's always a chance with these picks. It could happen. Jake Vander says, Joey, do you think if we stay at 12 and if Jock drops to around 25, we go and trade up from the second? I think it's realistic they could do that. If they think that they can get a corner later in this draft, and if that's the case, it just depends who they pick at the 12. If they pick a receiver and go after a linebacker, or if they pick a corner and go after a linebacker, that's where it's gonna change the tide of things. T Agnew, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome back, bro. T Agnew says, Shane says Jock is a joke. Oh, are you saying he's bad? Are you saying he's bad? So yeah, Joey, I'm going to start making Eagles content. Any advice? Just make videos. Don't worry about how good your videos look. Don't worry about anything. Just make videos, be yourself, and just push out as many videos. Don't worry about intros, outros, computers, cameras. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You just put out content and put your name out there, okay? If you want to send me a message on Twitter and say, hey, I made a few videos, you make a few videos, I give shout-outs to people and try to get their name out there, you know what I mean? And you never know what can happen, bro. Seriously. Forbidden Games to Patrick Surtain is at 12. Smith is not there. You could do that. I still think they're going to go after. I still think they go after one of those receivers if Smith is not there. I think if Waddle is there and Surtain is on the board as well, I think they still go wide receiver, which a lot of people aren't a fan of that, but I think that's what they do. David Matt Perez says their quarterback always helps with experience. Oh no, having a veteran quarterback, I have no problem with that, but I don't want to be that team that has a veteran quarterback as a starter that's washed up and doesn't do anything. Like I don't mind having a Josh McCown here as like a guy that, says, hey, I mean, like, becomes that support guy. I mean, that's really all I like those guys for. Rock 205, hey, they say they have the easiest schedule because all the top tier teams we play is at home. Oh, yay, that's great. But I think it's good, though. I think it's good. Matt says, now please don't spam the same stuff over and over. Thank you. No, he's all right. Matt, he's all right, bro. Jake says, hell no, Shane. David Matt Perez, experience at quarterback always helps. Let's see. Shane Trent says Tutu will have a way better future than Mr. Joke. Tutu? Not that receiver we had during the Chip Kelly. What was his name? Chateau? What was his name? What was that receiver's name we had during the Chip Kelly? Like 2015, 2014. I forgot his name. Chateau or Tutu or I forgot his name. Jeremy, when we pick an O-line at 12, this place will go nuts. But depending on who it is, it might be right. I don't care. If I think, look, the only lineman I go after is Sewell. Really, at the end of the day. Slater, I don't mind him. You know what I mean? I think he's got upside as well. I mean, but it's a long shot. It's realistically, it could happen, but Brian says, I think we're going to trade up with Carolina or Denver to get Surtain to keep him away from Dallas. Or you could go up to that spot to go get somebody else like Kyle Pitts, or you could go either way. The good thing about it is that Carolina traded for a quarterback. I think that's the good thing about it. So obviously they could draft. You could trade the 12th, go up to 7, 8, whatever Carolina's at, go get that pick, and they can still draft someone very good at 12 regardless. So I think that's a really good pick. Eagles Champ, keep the good work. Love your channel, man. Appreciate Eagles Champ. Always support, man. Another loyal subscriber on here, man. And Eagles Champ does have his own content. If you guys have it, check out his content on the Eagles. He rants a lot, and he will pump you up, and he will get it. I think the camera's over there. You know, because my camera is usually a little bit further over there. Yeah, don't. I looked over there I just looked at my light. Just blinded my face. All right, I'm done. Master P. said, T. Also don't beg or be greedy for anybody or anything. Just do what works for you. Shane is on drugs. What? Eagles Champ said, Tutu Shitsu. I forgot his name. Two guys won't be mad at the second round, or Jock or Terrace Marshall, and thanks for the advice, man. Appreciate it. Of course, bro. Always here for advice, man. Matt Week says, best of luck on making your videos for Eagles. Nelson PN says, anyone see Britt Coleman's video on Horn? Says he's the best cornerback prospect since Ramsey. I think he's the best in this draft. I think he's the best in this draft. Rock 215. Do you think Jordan Malai would be a prospect? What do you mean? Like, is he going to turn out to be something good? Yeah, 100%. I think he'll be one of the best left tackles if they keep him there. 100%. Demmer, yes, we trade up to 8 and get Pitts. This place will. Oh, I'm telling you, it will. Jeff, I'm telling you, it's going to be something crazy. Shane Trent will have way better numbers in the NFL than Jock or Marshall. Luis Cabrera says Trevor Lawrence might be a bust because Jacksonville team is not that good. Hey, they're rebuilding, bro. They got rid of all their veteran players. Like, they're just rebuilding. I think the only player they really retained for a lot of money was Miles Jack. Miles Jack's a good linebacker. I think he played for UCLA. He had injury concerns, came in and played pretty well. Jeff said, thanks for always making this podcast awesome. Well, big fan, keep it up. Dude, I mean, this isn't really a podcast. It's just, I just call it a live stream. I mean, the podcast of Philly 500, now that's a real podcast. So we're trying to branch out and do some other things right now. But, hey, man, Jeff, much love, dude. Much love, dude. Brian Stransky says, will Horn get a pick 6? Will he do his father's cell phone? That would be awesome. Matt says, who the hell is Shane? You got Shane Trent. That's in the chat. That's what they're talking about, I think. I could be wrong. Rock 205, do you think drafting QB would bring more controversy? Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I don't think Jalen Hurts will really care about it so much, but you know what I mean? But you're recreating a monster all over again when you do that with the quarterback situation. I don't think it's good. That's just me, though. That's me, at the end of the day. S. Marie the Booth. What's going on, S. Marie? Another loyal subscriber, especially a Philly 500 channel as well. She awesome subscriber. Always around, always supports. It's fantastic. She controls the chats. Awesome. Eagle Slayer said, the idiot who keeps saying the same... I don't even know, dude. I'm not even paying attention to it. Tiago says, this thing that sucks for people that are first-round picks, literally first-round pick is that they're going to the worst team in the league. Well, they're trying to make the team better, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. I know what you're saying, though. Eagle Sam, scratch inside your ear, your throat, you will feel better. Trust me, I was doing that before. Luis Cabrera, I just hope my Eagles do good this year. Can't wait. What's your expectation? My expectation for the Eagles in 2021 is to find those building block pieces, whether we draft them, and develop these players this year. You find out your building block pieces. You keep those players. You get rid of the players that you don't need. You go into 2022 with 3 first-round picks potentially. And potentially, and I think it starts out with our quarterback for these first-round picks as well. Just say Jalen Hurts does work out for the Eagles. You trade one of those first-rounders for a top player in the league, whether it's offense or defense, and you go into that draft and you get, you take at least 2 of those first-round picks and you do some good things with them. And you could contend. You could... Between this year and next year, if you do well, you could contend for 2022, or you could contend for 2023 at that point. So, I think we just need to fill those building block pieces this year and just find. I think they need, and especially not even just that, the front office, depending if Howie Roseman gets fired or not, they need to figure out. Like I said in the title of my video, they need to figure out a formula on how they draft and how they do things the right way. This way, every year they're not drafting differently, or they're not doing things differently to where it's messing things up. Why are young players not developing right? This is why you have a new coaching staff. So I think Nick Sirianni is definitely in this draft. I think he definitely has Howie's ear on some things, because I can't help to see Sirianni get so excited. I'm sitting here like, if he's so excited, he's got to have something to be involved in this draft at the end of the day. So there's a lot of cool things to really take out of it. You just got to, kind of just be creative with it. Jake said EDP is not an Eagles fan anymore. Why not? I don't know. On this team this year. David McPress says Christian Barrymore, defensive tackle, Alabama. Look him up. I will take him. Fletcher Cox in 2 first rounds. I would take Jabril Cox, LSU in 3rd round. Asante Samuel. I think Asante's going in the second. I don't think he's going to last till the third round, but we'll see. Andre Moses, Jalen Waddle, Terrace Marshall Jr. Who's better? I mean, I would take Jalen Waddle over Marshall in a half a second, but if they went corner in the first round, I'd take Terrace Marshall. I think Waddle just has he's within due to injury from other players, he's been that number one guy. He's been that number one guy before. Waddle's got explosiveness off the line. He's got that Tyreek Hill type skill set and could run all over the place. He could catch in traffic. You know what I mean? I think that's what Devontae Smith is kind of over him because he could pinpoint the ball in really impossible areas to catch and just the athleticism that he has to catch the ball, concentration, good tracking of the football. Not saying that Waddle can't do that, but obviously you use Waddle for special teams as well because he was the best man in the country, returning kicks, returning punts. So you get extra value out of Waddle as well. But I mean, I could care less about special teams. I just want him to be in this offense and be the number one guy here in Philadelphia. That's all that matters to me. At the end of the day, Jay Neiman Time said, "You think K. Wallace starts?" I think he will. I think he'll get a chance, and then obviously he needs to run with it. So. Rock 2 and 5. I think we should wait. 1 year teams in the league are so quick to call players that bust, especially quarterbacks. Oh, 100%. You have to wait. You have to wait. Acnim Dragon says, "How long have you been live for?" 2 hours and 44 minutes. I'm gonna end this probably in another like 2-3 minutes. It's 1:15 in the morning. Still 125 people in the chat, guys. Much appreciate to everybody being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you're new, go over Eagles News all year round. Check out some of my other videos. Guys, haven't hit the like button before you leave. Hit that like button before you leave. It really does help the channel out a lot. The support's been unreal from you guys. Want to support me fully? Obviously, I have links in the description. Me and Philly 500 we just did our first podcast on Philly 500's on my channel last week. We're going on Philly 500's channel Saturday. Every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, when the season comes, we're going to change some things around for live streams. But it's a lot of fun. You should join the fun. And we're looking for a podcast name. And the link in the description below. Check out that link. Click on that YouTube video and put in your podcast name by next Saturday. Not this Saturday coming up. By the Saturday before the draft, we are going to do we're gonna get a winner for the podcast name. So you put in a podcast name in the comment section below. Not of this video, but of the link to that video down below. Should be a lot of fun. You'll win a prize before the draft that we have already discussed already. So we will announce the winner. Should be a lot of fun. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I didn't know. I'm gonna put a poll up tomorrow. I want everyone to, if they're here right now, to just know that I'm gonna be putting out a poll tomorrow on I don't know when I should stream. Tonight went pretty well. I don't know what days a lot of people are busy. Like I did mine on Friday night at 8 o'clock and like there was nobody there. There was barely like 30 people to stream. So I don't know if Friday, it's the weekend, you know what I mean? People are out. So I'm gonna do a vote on YouTube and a vote on Twitter and see where it goes from there. Like I'm gonna do 10 o'clock, 10 or 10:30 on a certain day, and I want to see what people vote for it, and see what happens. Because every Saturday I do my podcast with Philly 500, so that's definitely something that I'm doing on Saturday. So there's no stream obviously on that day except for that podcast, and then I need to find out a day to do a weekly stream once a week, and then do another stream obviously with the with the podcast, which is Saturday. So I'm looking for another day to stream. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys had a really good night tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, we should have a lot of fun, man. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys have a really good night. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button before you leave this live chat. Much appreciated to you guys. Shake Squad is getting stronger every single day. Coming up on 12,000 subscribers really soon, which is crazy. So much love to everybody here. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later. Remember, Shake Squad up, Flowers fly. Peace out, guys. Peace. Bye-bye.